Beautiful Petco Park. Our starting lineups are brought to you by Nike Baseball. And, of course, for the E squad, out of Georgia, Abrams. It's Ely. We talked about him. The best pure bat is Riley Green. Reese Hines, some of the biggest power. Tyler Callahan, Judson Fabian. Out of Puerto Rico, Eric Rivera. Hayden Travinsky homered at the Perfect Game National Showcase. Dunhurst as a catcher. Miles Austin, lean athletic machine. And one of the best pure shortstops is Nassim Nunez. The leadoff hitter in this game is C.J. Abrams. What's his plan of attack? Let's find out right now. Danny and C.J. take it away.
Darren, I'm on the field right now with CJ, and he's about to get in the batter's box, but first I've got him right here. Exclusive interview. CJ, my friend, how cool is this right now?
It's crazy. Really cool.
So, leadoff hitter, I want to know, what is your approach in the box going to be right now?
As a leadoff hitter, you want to get it started. You know, don't think too much, stay relaxed, and be on time.
CJ, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Be on time. Dan O'Dowd at our breakfast meeting. Be on time. And by the way, that's amazing, Danny, and thank you, CJ. That's a big thing for you.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to get started. You got to get in a rhythm with the pitcher on the mound. Really difficult for a leadoff hitter to do that because he hasn't seen him before. But this game is all about being on time, David. The guys that are on time, they hit.
Yeah, and I think we have a pitcher on the mound here in Derek Diamond. You're going to see from his delivery a lot of those same attributes that come from the athleticism and the rhythm.
All the build-up, excited to play. Derek Diamond is out of Ramona, California. He's a two-way athlete, plays very, very talented baseball in the field as well. The first pitch at 92 miles an hour is a sinker. Diamond is a Stanford commit where he'll play for Dave Esker should he arrive on campus. Plays his travel ball for the San Diego Show.
Yeah, and he's a young man who really is a two-way athlete. He's a three-way athlete because he's a 4+ student in the classroom as well, but he's a young man who's going to keep getting better. You look at the build, you look at the easy athleticism that he has. He's just going to keep improving.
Dean Welch is his high school coach. Boy, everything's moving. I mean, there's late dive on everything. Matt Stevens just trying to keep it with him.
Yeah, you can't teach that, too. This guy's got ease of effort on the mound. He's got a good internal clock over the rubber. He's just, you know, right now, all these young men are so excited about being here. The first hitter that he faces, he's overly amped right now.
There's a pitch called a little bit low, and it's a strike. A late call of a strike. Here we go. Abrams thought it was a little bit low, too, but it looked like a very good pitch. Again, nothing straight, David. Nothing straight at all.
Absolutely nothing. And I think Derek, like you said, Dan, you know, he's nervous early. He's going with the fastball, got behind the count. Waiting to see the breaking ball, too, because something these West pitchers really have is quality off-speed pitches, and maybe we'll get one right here.
Up to C.J. Abrams. Abrams out of Blessed Trinity Catholic. He's the #1 player in Georgia. He has had an amazing summer. And by the way, C.J., as he heads to first, is a finalist to be a part of that USA baseball journey to the Pan American Games in November. He's on that 40-man roster.
You know, Darren, if you just watch that walk, you say, oh, that's just a walk. Every one of his takes were under control. He got started on time. He saw the ball exceptionally well. He's a really, really relaxed kid. He's already slowing the game down.
David talked about Jerrion Ely when we came on the air. Ely with his opportunity, the Ole Miss commit, where he'll play for Mike Bianco, and obviously a chance to play football there as well. This is one of the elite running backs and outfielders, both sports, in America. Runner takes off. Snap down throw stolen easily from behind home plate. It is Stevens. It was a beautiful throw. Just a huge jump.
Yeah, watch the jump. Watch the instincts. Watch his first step quickness. When we talk about athleticism, you talk about explosiveness right there. See the explosiveness? His first 3 steps. You steal a bag in your first 3 steps. And that's great awareness, great understanding of the game, and that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and I've told a lot of young base runners, go study Ricky Henderson tapes and just watch the first couple steps, because that's where, as you said, Dan, that's where all that speed comes from and the quickness. It's a difference between an Adam, C.J. Abrams and an Ely. Ely doesn't play enough baseball. You see him on first base. I bet you he's going to go, but it's not going to be quite the type of base running instincts.
Ely out of Carthage, Mississippi, Jackson Prep. He chases up in the zone. A breaking ball, first breaking ball of the game just prior to that pitch.
So, David, let me ask you a question then. When you look at a kid like this and understanding that he's a 2-sport player, hasn't really had the kind of reps most of the other kids here have. So how do you evaluate him in context to other players? Because he's like starting to try to catch up with him.
Yeah, I think you look at him and you definitely factor it in. And he does some things Jerrion Ely does on the field that I've seen this summer that shows that he's very serious about the game, that he's just not a great athlete who is trying to compete here. He's learning. He's been learning all summer. You know, he was trying to get C.J. Abrams over to third base there, and it didn't quite make it happen.
Breaking ball in on his hands, and he rolls out. Not a chance to use that speed. Top to bottom, the East lineup. David, some of your thoughts?
Well, you know, we're mentioning these quality athletes, and I think everybody in baseball knows that quality athletes are coming from Florida and Georgia, and we have a lot of them. We've got the two best power arms in this class, and Daniel Espino and Brennan Malone. And we've already seen that speed on the base paths. We're going to see that throughout the 9 innings today, Darren.
You might be seeing the best pure hitter here right now.
His name is Riley Green. You're exactly right. And everyone uses that word pure hitter. He's out of Haggerty, Florida. Riley Green, Haggerty High School, Oviedo, Florida. What makes him so pure, guys?
Well, I think it's his timing. I mean, a lot of these players have great bat speed, and Green definitely does. But he has such a rhythm at the plate and great timing. He sees the ball well. He's taken pitches just off the corner of the plate, working the counts, stuff that advanced big league hitters do. But he's 17 years old, and he already has a feel on how to do this.
Yeah, he's a very relaxed kid. I mean, he sees the ball exceptionally well, very, very comfortable in his ability to bring the bat to the ball on a consistent basis.
Breaking ball boxed up. Abrams picks it up. Couple of stutter steps and ends up staying at second base. But when you think about Green, certainly the numbers are outstanding, and they have been fun to watch. Matt Stevens working with Diamond. Stevens out of Wisconsin.
Yeah, he boxed this one just a little bit. You know, he's probably not caught this kid before. And either it got crossed up there, David, he might have been, and that's why he went out to talk to him, but it looked like he did not see that breaking ball out of his hand at all.
And catching in this game is so difficult.
It's hard.
Because
you got a different guy every inning.
You're going to have 18 pitchers out here throwing their best stuff. You've hit off them before, I'm pretty sure. You probably haven't caught them, and it's really tough for catchers in this environment.
Nobody there, and again, working together, Bobby Witt trying to sneak in, but Diamond and Witt couldn't get together. These are the byproducts of an all-star game.
Well, and Abrams, he's looking to steal third. So he's had 3 fake jumps already off of second base, so he's looking to take that bag if the opportunity presents itself.
Look at the movement on that pitch. A beautiful darting fastball at 93 miles an hour.
And again, Darren, look at how easy it comes out of his hand. I mean, look at the delivery, look at the rhythm in his delivery, look at the finish out front. Those are all things that you look for when you're evaluating a young pitcher.
2-2 the count. Diamond getting comfortable out there out of the stretch. That one runs out of the zone. Eric Diamond, mom is Nancy, dad is Steve, and we mentioned the journey to Stanford. He's a 4.0 student in the classroom. And on his high school football team at Ramona High School, he kicked, he punted, he was a safety on a 12-1 team last year. So this is a true all-around athlete. And he's a great position player, too. That one lifted deep into left center field. Green drives it toward the alley, up against the wall. How about that opposite field power? The East grabs the lead by a score of 1-0. That ball was smoked.
That was smoked there, and the way he hit it, he has 2 strikes on him. It's a different approach. I've seen Riley Green hit more balls hard to left center field, even in batting practice, and I see him pulling, and that's part of the mature approach. He just went with it and drove it.
Yeah, he did not have any concern at all hitting on 2 strikes, and he was looking for something out over the plate there. That's pretty easy, guys. That's very, very impressive. His hand speed's pretty special.
That's exactly what you were talking about, Dan, when you walked him into the batter's box. Just a pure hitter, and that's the biggest part of the ballpark. You don't see big league left-handed hitters do that with regularity.
And now imagine Riley Green there when in another 5-6 years when he weighs 205 pounds instead of 185 pounds, and it's man muscle where that ball goes.
Diamond with a breaking ball over the outside corner. This is Reese Hines, IMG Academy. The Floridian is an LSU commit, and a lot of what he does is dedicated to mom, Michelle Drake. Home run derby champion, by the way, guys.
How about that adjustment on Diamond's part, first pitch breaking ball?
I think everybody in this class, they've gotten to know each other over the last few months and even before that. And they're all out watching during the home run derby. And Reese Hines is putting balls off the
he makes
brick.
the park really small.
Yeah, off the 3rd level of the brick on the Western Metal
Supply. Yeah, there's no
Company.
question this young man his raw power is exceptional.
Hines with that slightly open stance was a finalist at the high school home run derby at the All-Star game. Breaking ball dives down and away. By the way, those homers, he was the home run derby champion. Our Rawlings home run of the game. Rawlings, the #1 baseball brand. And some fun going on here. You'll see Bobby Witt come out too and part of the celebration. Did the same thing at Nationals Park. Big power there. Witt won that one. Good breaking ball a moment ago. And I got on the side of that fastball. Diamond will be the quarterback, by the way, when Ramona High School opens its season on Friday night, dealing with Reese Hines. And there's some of the raw scouting numbers there.
He probably hasn't had a chance to throw a ton of bullpens if he's suiting up quarterback in his team on Friday night.
Breaking ball hangs around. 2-2 the count.
And with all big power hitters, true power hitters like Hines, it's going to be, Dan, how often he can get to his power, and just seeing him foul off, a 2-2 curveball, because he's going to get curveball over and over until he shows that he can make adjustments.
He's going to get fastballs above his hands, and he's going to get a ton of breaking balls. And again, baseball's a game of adjustments, and that's the development process, and that's what everybody will be bearing down on him this spring to see if he's closed some of his holes.
Diamond's dad, Steve, college football player at Southern Illinois. Mom, a college swimmer at Illinois State. Breaking ball hammered. Deep left field into the corner it goes. Did he keep it fair? He didn't. Oh, he picked on a hanging breaking ball.
That's what you do with a hanging breaking ball, guys.
Hang him and bang him. That was impressive. Now, if you're Derek Diamond, what do you throw here? Do you have enough confidence to throw a better curveball?
Oh, I do. I bounce one right in front of the plate right now. Because you've got him looking up now. He's gone up twice. He missed on a fastball to his glove side a little bit up, and then he's just hung a breaking ball. He's got to get something down the strike zone.
Hines plays his travel ball for the East Coast Sox. And they, I'm sure, are watching and enjoying that. Joe Caruso in leadership there. Chris Snopek, one of his coaches. Former major leaguer. Got him to chase. Got him to chase. So when you're down with movement, elevating the line of sight, not a bad idea.
Again, that's going to be one of his issues, Darren. He's going to have to close on the ball. Power guys like to get their arms extended quickly. So they're going to be first movement to the ball is going to be quick first movement to the ball.
Neptune Beach, Florida, the home of the next hitter, Tyler Callahan, Providence High School.
I'm sticking a young Daniel Murphy on this kid. This kid has really got a feel for the strike zone. He's got good pitch recognition. And, David, you talked about he's got really good bat-to-ball skills.
Yeah, and he's a young man who has played more baseball than almost anybody in this class. I wouldn't doubt he's been to 30 or 35 perfect game events, has always performed at a high level. And it's a whole all fields, left field, center field, right field. He's tapped into some more power this summer, but I think he's doing that because people talk to him about it. I think his natural space where he's hitting the ball is gap to gap, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see something here out in those gaps.
That's a good point with a young player. A young player should not worry about getting to the power if they're a good hitter. That will come with time and a little bit more strength. He just missed that one. Very good execution on a 2-0 pitch there.
Funny you mentioned Daniel Murphy. That's his favorite player. Murphy's from Jacksonville and comes and coaches him in high school. They're actually friends. What a beautiful swing for Riley Green. We're rolling here in San Diego.
Ball.
I think everybody in this class, they've gotten to know each other over the last few months and even before that. And they're all out watching during the home run derby, and Reese Hines is putting balls off the
he makes
brick.
the park really small.
Yeah, off the third level of the brick on the Western Metal Supply
there's no question
Company.
this young man, his raw power is exceptional.
Hines with that slightly open stance was a finalist at the high school home run derby at the All-Star game. Breaking ball dives down and away. By the way, those homers, he was the home run derby champion. Our Rawlings home run of the game. Rawlings, the #1 baseball brand. And some fun going on here. You'll see Bobby Witt come out too and part of the celebration. Did the same thing at Nationals Park. Big power there. Witt won that one. Good breaking ball a moment ago. And I got on the side of that fastball. Diamond will be the quarterback, by the way, when Ramona High School opens its season on Friday night, dealing with Reese Hines. And there's some of the raw scouting numbers there.
He probably hasn't had a chance to throw a ton of bullpens if he's suiting up quarterback and his team on Friday night.
Breaking ball hangs around. 2-2 the count.
And with all big power hitters, true power hitters like Hines, it's going to be, Dan, how often he can get to his power, and just seeing him foul off, you know, a 2-2 curveball, you know, because he's going to get curveball over and over until he shows that he can make adjustments.
He's going to get fastballs above his hands, and he's going to get a ton of breaking balls. And again, baseball's a game of adjustments, and that's the development process, and that's what everybody will be bearing down on him this spring to see if he's closed some of his holes.
Diamond's dad, Steve, college football player at Southern Illinois. Mom, a college swimmer at Illinois State. Breaking ball hammered. Deep left field, into the corner it goes. Did he keep it fair? He didn't. Oh, he picked on a hanging breaking ball.
That's what you do with a hanging breaking ball, guys.
Hang him and bang him. That was impressive. Now, if you're Derek Diamond, what do you throw here? Do you have enough confidence to throw a better curveball?
Oh, I do. I bounce one right in front of the plate right now. Because you've got him looking up now. He's gone up twice. He missed on a fastball to his glove side a little bit up, and then he's just hung a breaking ball. He's got to get something down the strike zone.
Hines plays his travel ball for the East Coast Sox. And they, I'm sure, are watching and enjoying that. Joe Caruso in leadership there. Chris Snopek, one of his coaches. Former major leaguer. Got him to chase. Got him to chase. So when you're down, down, down with movement, elevating the line of sight, not a bad idea.
Again, that's going to be one of his issues, Darren. He's going to have to close on the ball. Power guys like to get their arms extended quickly. So they're going to be first movement to the ball is going to be quick first movement to the ball.
Neptune Beach, Florida, the home of the next hitter, Tyler Callahan, Providence High School.
I'm sticking a young Daniel Murphy on this kid. This kid has really got a feel for the strike zone. He's got good pitch recognition. And David, you talked about he's got really good bat-to-ball skills.
Yeah, and he's a young man who has played more baseball than almost anybody in this class. I wouldn't doubt he's been to 30 or 35 perfect game events, has always performed at a high level. And it's a whole, you know, all fields, left field, center field, right field. He's tapped into some more power this summer, but I think he's doing that because people talk to him about it. I think his natural space where he's hitting the ball is gap to gap, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see something here out in those gaps.
That's a good point with a young player. A young player should not worry about getting to the power if they're a good hitter. That will come with time and a little bit more strength. He just missed that one. Very good execution on a 2-0 pitch there.
Funny you mentioned Daniel Murphy. That's his favorite player. Murphy's from Jacksonville and comes and coaches him in high school. They're actually friends. What a beautiful swing for Riley Green. We're rolling here in San Diego.
Some moments are worth the journey. We'll help get the most out of every mile. Chase down your passion. Never halfway. Hankook Tire.
So you just walk around telling people Geico could help them save money on car insurance?
Yeah, that, and homeowners, renters, motorcycle and boat insurance.
Huh. That's nice. What happens when you catch a fish?
Oh!
Geico. More than just car insurance. See how much you could save at geico.com.
I'm okay!
Sports fans are gearing up at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get 20% off with promo code SUMMER. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
Beautiful Coronado Bridge, San Diego. No place better in America. Let's take a look at the Nike starting lineups for the West squad. Corbin Carroll's out of Washington. Witt, a Texan. Frechette, a local product. Gargis can hit. He's a Stanford commit. Denham Springs, Cade Doty is from Denham Springs. Strong Denham Springs folks there. Hampton going to LSU. Football, baseball like Ely. Alabama's Gunnar Henderson at Stevens. Britt, Brown, and Dean will tell you about all. With hard-throwing Daniel Espino on the mound, this ought to be a treat as the first fastball is 97 miles an hour and strike one to the quick-twitch athlete Corbin Carroll.
You got to get that ball down. You're not going to catch anything up in the upper part of that strike zone. That was pretty impressive.
Right back over the outside corner again at 97 miles an hour. He moved from Panama City, Panama to the United States early in high school. He is an LSU commit, plays his high school baseball, of course, in Georgia, but he is Panamanian. His family is here. It's been a great story this summer. Squared up, though, by Carroll, who drives it toward the gap in the left center field. Corbin can fly. It's down and it's up against the wall. Corbin hustling on around. Toward third he goes. In with the triple. Corbin Carroll, the pride of Seattle.
Yeah, Corbin Carroll has done more to improve his draft stock, I think, this summer. He's summer than any player, any hitter, certainly. He's from Washington. He doesn't get exposed, but he's played so well and done just that.
Watch his athleticism here, David. Watch him lean into every base. Perfect in sync with his strides, and that's pretty impressive to take a two-strike swing off a 97 away and hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark from the left side.
And
that's pretty good.
I have a comp on Corbin Carroll that I love. Jacoby Ellsberg.
That's a good one right there.
Talking about
good
two Northwest players with that type of athleticism.
What a matchup this is. Bobby Witt Jr., who was the champion at the high school home run derby at the All-Star game against Espino. He's out of Texas. He's an Oklahoma commit. His father, of course, a long major league career. Bobby Witt out of Oklahoma as well as a pitcher.
So, guys, when I talked about it early on is just seeing how players react to the situation. How many times do you think Espino's got an 0-2 fastball of 97, hit that hard off of him? So now you watch and see how he handles that, how he makes the adjustment, how he slows things down, how he executes a pitch.
Well, one thing we can watch for is the number of strikes, because unlike most young power pitchers, Espino's never had any trouble throwing strikes. And if he gets out of sync now, he's 2-0 right away to Witt. He's still thinking about that triple and evaluating himself while he's up there.
Oh boy, behind the plate, Dunhurst took that foul tip pretty hard. First of all, it was 98 miles an hour. The catcher is Hayden Dunhurst. He's out of Carrier, Mississippi. He is a gifted catcher. He's an Ole Miss commit. Here's what happened. It looked like he got him on the thigh, guys, on the foul ball.
Yeah.
Oh, just above the knee.
Oh, that really hurts. No padding up there. Your leg is in a flex position. That hurts. How about Espino, though? Gets to a 2-0 count, challenge fastball. That's where 97 gives you a chance to have a little bit of margin for error there.
Oh, boy, that's going to feel good as the night goes along.
Yeah, it's not. That's going to hurt.
He and Witt, by the way, are travel ball teammates next to one another with the East Coast Sox. There's the story on Daniel Espino.
He's telling Bobby thanks for that right now.
Runner at third, the 2-1. Fastball, tried to frame it up, 98, a little bit low.
Yeah, and you saw on the previous graphic there the magic number sort of with pitchers now, that 100 miles an hour. A few years ago we never saw that number. And last year, we heard it all the time with Hunter Green. And last week at an event in Alabama, Daniel Espino touched 100 a number of times. There's 99 right there. And that's kind of like the new norm right now. Go reach to throw 100.
I think the average Major League fastball now used to be 90. I guarantee it's pushing more like 94, 95 right now.
No doubt about it.
3-2 pitch here. A very interesting count.
It's a fastball, 99. It gets far enough away, and no coverage of home plate. And a slide of safe with that great speed. Corbin Carroll's fun to watch, isn't he? And then trying to take an extra base on the walk is Bobby Witt. He is gunned down. There's Carroll at third. Just far enough away, he took off, and Witt decided to see if he could maybe, okay, let's see if I'll catch
very
it.
good.
Happen.
Very good job on Bobby's part. Took a good gamble there. Took a perfect throw by Espino to get him out at second base.
I don't think Espino could have beaten Carroll to the plate regardless of
he couldn't have, but, you know, that was frustration a little bit.
Yeah,
right there.
okay, I hear you.
And again, the young catch, this is hard. I mean, catching this kind of velocity with this kind of life is very difficult to do.
Garrett Frechette takes a beautiful fastball over the outside corner. San Diego State commit. Mom is Jennifer. Dad is Tony. He's out of Cathedral Catholic, Vista, California. We've enjoyed seeing him host. And when you're a local product, you do act as a host. Great athlete, cross-country runner, basketball player in high school as well. And that breaking ball dives low.
Yeah, Garrett Frechette's a fun player for me. The first time I saw him play was as a freshman 3 years ago, and he weighed about 160 pounds, but it was such a sweet left-handed swing. You could dream on it even when he was a freshman in high school, and it's really been very satisfying as an evaluator to see how much he's improved and gotten stronger and how much room there really is for him to continue to improve.
97 right in on the knuckles. Comes into Frechette's tough spot there. Mark Martinez is the head coach at San Diego State, probably excited about the arrival of this man. Of course, Martinez, a longtime assistant under Padre legend Tony Gwynn, who is San Diego State legend as well. So keeping everything local for Garrett. Fastball, 98. Swings right through that one, completing the strikeout. 2 outs in the inning. David, top to bottom, and when you look at the roster, especially offensively, what's the scouting report on this West squad as you shape them up?
Well, we talked about the East and all the dynamic athletes. I think the West doesn't have that middle of the field athleticism, but I think from the top to bottom, they have more guys who have the present power or the projectable power. I think they have a different type of pitchers. Nobody in the West is going to throw 98. They're going to have guys who work counts, get ahead in counts, throw breaking balls for strikes. And then, of course, the presence of Southern California. There are 9 Southern California athletes on this All-American team.
Out of Yakima, Washington, this is Henry Gargas as he takes a fastball 99 miles an hour. Davis High School, he's a Stanford commit. And much like Corbin Carroll, they're in exactly the same spot. They both play their travel ball for WW Sweets. Their travel ball head coach, Jeff Cirillo, who is enjoying watching tonight, longtime major leaguer.
Former player of mine, outstanding hitter.
One and one the count. Jeff's been excited with these athletes, keeping an eye on them. I know he's watching tonight. Very much involved in the amateur game, and this is one of his products. These are 2 athletes in Carroll and Gargas that crush it in the classroom as well. I mean, Stanford commits aren't handed out. We all know that.
Jeff Cirillo's got a great baseball mind, and is so happy he's connected to these kids, and he's still involved in the game of baseball the way he is.
1 and 2, 98 miles an hour.
That's a little unfair there. 98 above your hands on the inner half of the plate. Look at this.
I think we saw the umpire flinch there.
I flinched up here.
Espino at one point a shortstop, a middle infielder. Made a bold decision to move to the United States. Initially it was in South Florida, then finding his home at Georgia Premier Academy in Statesboro, Georgia. Misses his family, but a lot of communication. Dad, a retired doctor, Danilo. Mom, Ciomata, comes and travels up a lot to visit. And he just made pitch for the Panamanian national team in those Pan Am games. All you USA 40-man squad, look out. Outside corner. Wow, a fastball at 98 miles an hour. Panama looking on, very proud of the efforts of this golden arm. Very proud of the efforts of this golden arm. Baseball, and by Perfect Game, the largest and most respected independent scouting service in baseball.
Oh, yes, it's a very
Play Ball is MLB's initiative to inspire all forms of baseball and softball participation. making play ball opportunities available and fun for everyone. To learn more, go to playball.org. There was a great activation yesterday. Jackie Robinson YMCA, so much fun to see the coaches and Perfect Game athletes, along with the leadership and the guidance of Major League Baseball. I mean, really, honestly, the visit to Rady Children's Hospital and this, the play ball activation at Jackie Robinson YMCA, that's exactly what it's all about here at the Perfect Game All-American Classic. A talented arm getting ready to go. His name is Quinn Priester. And Priester, tall right-hander with big, big stuff. He's a great all-around athlete out of Cary Grove Community High School in Cary in Illinois. This is a TCU commit. Chris's mom, Andy is dad.
Yeah, to me, Quinn Priester is one of the highest ceiling pitchers in this class because he's big, he's athletic, he really hasn't thrown much. He's just like Derek Diamond. He's probably going to go and play football on Monday, but he does so many things well already. I think getting relaxed might be something he needs to do right now. But he spins the ball. He can move his fastball around and do a lot of different things that most young pitchers really can't do.
That ball just got away from him. Overthrew it just a little bit. What I've been impressed with this young man, he's got, first of all, an exceptionally quick arm, but he's got great extension out front. And David, as we know, when guys get this kind of extension at this age, they're so projectable in everything that they do because they already feel how to do that.
Yeah, they do. And what I want to see from him here is what I think is his best pitch, his most impressive pitch, and that's a two-seam fastball that he throws almost exclusively to left-handed hitters. And here we have a left-handed hitter up in Eric Rivera, and I'm really anxious to see him throw that because it's a big league-ready pitch, the one I saw at Tropicana 2 months ago.
Eric Rivera is out of the Puerto Rico Baseball Academy, Caguas in Puerto Rico. Mervo Melendez at FIU Florida International awaits his arrival. By the way, Judson Fabian, who just earned that walk, one of the great pure hitters as well, and I know David will tell you more, and so will Dan. He's a Florida commit, and glad to see that he is all right as Rivera hits a high fly ball well struck to center field. Tracked very comfortably by Corbin Carroll. Boy, he made that play look easy. Sunshine disappeared into the shadows out there.
If you look at outfielders, the first thing you're looking for, guys, is you're looking for their first step break on a ball and their read to the ball. He took a great first step. He had the ball completely under control the entire way. He's got really good instincts for the game.
Yeah, and to think he's from Washington, not a state that customarily plays as much, but he's the exception in that we talked about slowing the game down a lot, and I think he's a player who definitely slows the game down.
This is Hayden Travinski. He hit a home run at Perfect Games National Showcase, one of two. Huge power, Hayden Travinski. He's out of Airline High School, Shreveport, Louisiana. High school coach is Toby Todd. He called him the best coach I've ever had. And the breaking ball misses low and away. It's just big natural power.
Yeah, and Hayden Travinski goes up. His self-identity is as a power hitter, much like a Reese Hines is. And he's up taking a cut. He's looking to drive the baseball. And Priester goes with the curveball in the dirt. And he showed nice patience there, letting it go by.
Bouncing ball out toward third. Slide, foul territory. Good effort there.
Great athleticism there. Good first step quickness.
That's Cade Doty. He's out of Denham Springs, Louisiana. He's on that USA 40-man roster as well.
Look at his first step here, Darren. Man, that's really good instincts right there. Moving before the pitch, before the ball was even put in play.
We've talked a lot about your directives. Makeup is a big part of when you watch these players play, Dan. Makeup.
It is. And, if you focus on any of those, it's the top one, and that's why it's on the top. You got to love the game. And for me, there's a huge difference between passion and love because you're passionate about something. Sometimes the result can change how much you're passionate about it. But when you love the game of baseball, you're all in on it. It's the core of where everything starts from. You have to love this game. And you have to love to go out and work at it to get better at it.
Easy stolen base. Fabian takes off and swiped that one. Good breaking ball, which means it was an even better take from Travinski.
Well, Justin Fabian's a young man. He's always been known as one of the top hitters in this class, and he's really improved his athleticism. He was a 6'9" runner last year in the 60s, a 6'5" runner now.
Wow.
And to improve that much, you don't do that by accident.
No, that's hard work, David.
He's worked hard at it, and he's done the same thing with his arm strength. He was an upper 80s guy from the outfield a year ago, and now he's a mid-90s guy from the outfield.
You know, and he's a baseball player, too. He's got tools and he's got talents, but he has a way to – he understands how to apply those in the course of a game consistently, too. So he helps you win games.
He's also one of these right-handed hitting, left-handed throwing strange athletes that we don't come along
Mark
with.
Carrion.
Yeah.
Stravinsky up on that toe with the lead foot. Big old leg kick and a heavy sinking fastball. My goodness. Down goes Hayden Stravinsky.
You could hear that explode up here.
And I think I misrepresented that
Maybe
two-seamer.
To left-hand. That might be the right-handers, too.
Yeah,
Look at this thing.
I'd never seen.
Look, oh, my gosh. That's heavy life. So if you're scouting the game right now and you see that, you are so excited because that's just natural power sink.
He deals now with Hayden Dunhurst out of Pearl River Central High School. Carrier, Mississippi, the catcher, took that foul ball. Hopefully he's all right as the sinker at 90 dives away to Dunhurst. Travel team, East Coast Hawks, and Dunhurst, when he was younger, quite a basketball player. You like his status as a catcher now, don't you?
Oh, yes, I do. He's always been known as a high-level hitting catcher. He's a switch hitter. He's strong. It's a mature hitting tool, but he has improved so much defensively over the last year that he's really become, in my mind, maybe the top catcher in this class right now.
A great crowd down below. The Padres have been so warm and working together with perfect game, and you see the lower bowl with a lot of not just family. There's a lot of folks down there. This is a wonderful showing after the Padres beat the Philadelphia Phillies today. What a great relationship these two organizations have formed to put this game on a game day as the breaking ball dives down in a 2-1.
As you can see on his breaking ball a little bit, that'll come with time. He slows his arm down a little bit. He's guiding it. He's got good tight spin on it, and when you're looking at a young pitcher, a guy that can spin a breaking ball at this age will always be able to spin a breaking ball.
And I think you were talking before about how well extended he gets out there. He's releasing that breaking ball out front where it needs to be released to have that kind of spin.
Oh, that was impressive.
Quick run to the bag by Gargas. Big, strong. By the way, he's a high school quarterback as well.
Classic. I'm with Del Matthews, Senior Director of Baseball Development at Major League Baseball. Del, we were at the Jackie Robinson YMCA the other day for Play Ball. For those who may not be familiar with this incredible event, tell us about it.
Yeah, it's a great initiative that we have with Major League Baseball. It's an opportunity for kids to come out, enjoy the game of baseball in a non-traditional setting. We had all the players come out on the field with us and get a chance to spend time with some kids going through different routines, base running, home run derby, bat and ball agilities, and really spent about an hour with the kids. Had some really good music playing and just enjoying the game, having fun, and, playing ball. That's what it's all about.
What's really cool about this event is there are a lot of guys here who have played in the Breakthrough Series and EDI. How amazing is it to see them rise through the ranks and be here today?
Yeah, I mean, we're really proud of what we've been able to do with the program. We're starting to see more diverse kids at events like this, and as you know, this has been something that we're trying to help increase the efforts with. And so to see guys like Trey Faltine and Emmanuel Dean and Darius Perry, Damon Hale that have come through our programs and now playing in the Perfect Game All-American game is tremendous, and we're just excited to be a part of it.
Del, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Guys.
Outstanding stuff. Brendan Malone on the mound. Big, big arm. He's a North Carolina commit. This is a talented pitcher. Travel team, the on-deck O's. This is a man, David, who throughout the summer has been mid to upper 90s, and Malone gets his opportunity. He's an IMG Academy.
Yeah, Brendan's a young man who started coming by his velocity real early. You can see he's a strong, physical young athlete, about 6'5", 210, 215. And he's been throwing in the 90s for a long time, but he just keeps getting better. It's a tick or two every year. The breaking ball gets a little bit better every year. And you're seeing it now. I've never seen him throw 97 before, so he's amped right now.
Yeah, you know what? You just made a great point, though, David. When you talk about development of player happens in incremental ways. It doesn't happen sometimes overnight. And that's the key to this whole thing is the players understanding you don't need to know what perfect looks like, just better.
Abrams attempting CJ to make that play on a backhand. The batter, Cade Doty, out of Denham Springs, Louisiana, trying to use the big part of the ballpark. And CJ trying to show his athleticism. This is a man who plays shortstop every game, certainly, in CJ Abrams.
And we saw Cade Doty's athleticism and his first step quickness at third base. He's always been a young man who gets out of the box very well as a right-handed hitter. And he's the type who plays so hard, he thinks he's going to beat out every ball he hits.
You know what? He had one of the more impressive BP rounds for me in the 2 days that I watched BP. Really professionally understood what kind of hitter he is at an exceptionally young age.
This is Maurice Hampton. He is an LSU football and an LSU baseball commit. He can run. They had better hurry. Hampton up the line, just got him. And a fine play charging from shortstop. Love watching Nasim Nunez play the position.
Yeah, how about that? How about the glove-to-hand transfer? And how about him? You talk about putting your body in position to execute a skill. That's it right there.
Yeah, that's what a big league shortstop hopefully looks like, making the same play. And Nasim, Darren, you and I have watched him so much in the last year, and it's always fun to watch him play. And he also, I think, has more fun playing than just about anybody in this class.
Alabama native Gunnar Henderson gets that one just off the end of the bat. Well, to finish the thought on Nunez and that diminutive shortstop body, and he'll use that word. He tells you he's diminutive out there at short. He gets 95 miles an hour. He did this summer out of that arm. So it's a big, big arm that he can use when he needs it. Henderson, a unique athlete, too, because he's big, he's tall, gets that bat back in his hands. He's out of Selma, Alabama, but still plays in the middle of the field on the infield defensively.
He's looking to ambush a fastball right there.
Well, he's going to get a lot of fastballs from Malone. He got the curveball right there.
That's good right there. Look at the change of speeds there, too. 97 down to 81.
Well, Henderson's a young man who's always going to have to hear from scouts and coaches, you're too big to play the middle infield, just like a Sager or a Carlos Correa has.
They tried to piece it together on a stolen base attempt. Doty with the stolen base. Quick snap throw down there by Dunhurst.
Really good throw by Dunhurst. Reese Hines just wasn't in a position to make that tag. He's got to be on top of the bag. Watch where he fields the ball. And again, these are things that he'll learn to do so much better. See where he was? He's in front of the bag getting that throw. He might have an opportunity to make that play.
There's some great speed there from Doty, and as you said, great footwork from Hayden Dunhurst, who has upped things quite a bit. Nate Stevens now with his chance after the strikeout out of Waunakee, Wisconsin. Mom is Sheila, dad is Larry, and Stevens has a fastball slip right by him at 96 miles an hour.
And he quick pitched him, too. He wasn't ready to hit there.
Took that one out of the catcher's mitt. Stevens, an Arkansas commit, where he'll go play for Dave Van Horn. And he's kind of quickly moved up the ranks amongst his peers as a catcher.
No doubt. And he's pretty much an offensive first catcher now who's going to work, I'm sure, going to work hard to get the defense to where the offense is. But he was the single most dominant player on a state championship team in the entire state of Wisconsin this year. I think he had 11 home runs, drove in 50-some runs. RBIs, and is an offensive-minded kid who really impressed me at Nashville with how much he had improved defensively.
Well, again, you got to put in perspective, too. These young men are facing guys throwing in the mid to high 90s, and they're facing them every inning, so they never get a chance to face them a second or third time.
Fastball blew him away. The big arm of Brennan Malone. On deck goes his travel team. They love leaning on that arm. I'm guessing there are some scouts that have enjoyed seeing the strength. Phillies game wrapped up with a Padres win. That these fans arrive. Perfect Games Foundation has given so much back to the causes such as pediatric cancer and autism. Rady Children's Hospital has benefited. The Southwestern Autism Research and Resource Center in Phoenix, Arizona as well. Visit perfectgame.org/WeCare to learn more about the Perfect Game Foundation. This is a player that can play in the middle of the infield very, very well. And Bryce Osmond can also work on the mound. He's an Oklahoma State commit where he'll go to work for Josh Holliday. Jenks, Oklahoma, Jenks High School, USA Prime Elite, his travel team, Bryce Osmond.
Well, Bryce came to the National Showcase at Tropicana in mid-June as a primary shortstop. And he had a very good event as a shortstop. He ran a 6.460. He had a double in the game. And he stepped on the mound as a secondary pitcher, and I think the third thought in my notes was, this guy's going to be a pitcher. He just exudes projection and athleticism. He threw strikes, and you could just dream on him as a scout where he could be when he's older.
Out of Smyrna, Georgia, this is Miles Austin dealing with Osmond on the mound. Austin's an Alabama commit, Westlake High School. You may remember his brother. His brother, a very, very talented athlete. His brother Jay, who was a high draft pick. Houston, second pick in 2008. 5 years with the organization and has continued to play his older brother. 5 years in independent league baseball. He says, I've chased my brother and loved being in his shadows. He's a very slender 6'3", 177, but a pretty talented athlete.
Very talented athlete, a very different athlete than his brother. He can chase his brother. I don't think he's going to catch him physically, but it's two different types of athletes. And Miles has really improved over the last year. I would not have guessed he would have been in this game, in August of last year, but he is so much improved, so much dedicated himself to the game, and want to keep seeing where that goes.
Breaking ball misses away from Bryce Osmond. Speaking of the cause of autism, he's active with a group called Buddy Baseball at an autism center in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where he pairs up and does some teaching of the game. Fastball up in the zone. Easy chance for Jaden Brown. That was a really good defensive play, but here's a great defensive play. Just a moment ago, our Rawlings Gold Glove defensive play of the game. Rawlings, the #1 glove of pro players. Rawlings, the mark of a pro. Dan, you love this play, Nasim Nunez.
I certainly did, Darren. His glove-to-hand transfers, under control, body in perfect position to execute the skill that are required to make that play. That was special.
There's a smile on that face a lot for Nunez. And
if I could pick it like that, I'd have a smile on my face, too. Boy, this kid, Osmond, he's got a really quick arm, guys. The ball just explodes out of his hands. We've seen some really good arms tonight. The inning that Brendan Malone just had was overpowering.
Nunez bats now. He's a Clemson commit as that one sinks low and inside. Tina, his mom. Miguel, his dad. Team Elite, his travel team. He played for the Breakthrough Series team as well. And so Del Matthews, we heard that conversation a moment ago.
We talked again earlier about good takes. Another hitter looks really under control at the plate. Took really 2 good takes right there. Totally balanced and in rhythm what he's trying to do.
And Dan, if I told you he's only been hitting left-handed for a little bit over a year.
That's really impressive then.
Yeah, natural right-handed hitter who decided to take up left-hand hitting.
And you know how hard it is to do that, Dave? What kind of courage you have knowing you may fail a little bit to switch around like that and do that? That's not easy to do, especially when you're competing at such a high level.
Little pause in the
little
delivery
hesitation
there.
right there. Well, we're going to see some athleticism here.
Wow, what a great effort by Osmond. My goodness. Not only did he pause and strike a pose before delivering, but he nearly threw him out there.
And so often when you see that hesitation, it's somebody's just going to throw as hard as they can. And to do the hesitation, then throw a strike with a breaking ball, didn't end up working out well as
I don't know.
out the hit.
Let's look at a replay here. I think he might have got him right there. That's really a really good play because he had to rotate back to the open bag.
Back to the top of the order in C.J. Abrams, who led off this ball game with a walk, stole a base, came around to score. Nasim takes off. Good pitch to throw down, not in time. And so Nunez, with that outstanding speed, shows it again with a stolen base.
And the shocker, Darren, I had the watch there on Stevens. He threw that down in 187.
Wow.
So that's Nasim Nunez with his jump, getting the jump off Osmond on the mound, and just his pure quickness being that, because that was a big league throw time from Stevens.
He was, and his glove-to-hand transfer was quick on it too. There was nothing long about any of his actions there.
Athleticism, we're seeing it on the field. Another one of Dan's directives.
Yeah, and to me, I want to really focus on number 4 on that, body control and agility. Baseball is a game where you have to execute a skill exceptionally well over and over again by putting your body in position to make it. Again, sample there. Third baseman moves his feet exceptionally well, and so he wasn't flat-footed on the play, used his legs, used his feet, made the play through the ball.
That third baseman is Cade Doty.
See, just watch his feet. When you watch an infielder, just look at how their feet move. Feet moved exceptionally well. Good strong throw, exactly where it needs to be. So when we talk about athleticism on the field, just watch the game and how the players move their body and put their body in positions to be able to execute a skill on a consistent basis.
Back of the box for Jerrion Ealy, the outstanding football and baseball player. Nice job blocking it up by Stevens. Didn't matter, though, because as soon as that pitch hit the dirt, Nunez took off. So good on both sides here. Great effort blocking first.
If Darren, if he didn't block this ball with the jump Nunez got on second base, I'm not sure he doesn't try to score on that play. So that was a really good block.
He had taken off with the intent to steal, so a stolen base. Ealy with a larger-than-life personality, the personality of a man that when he gets out in the open field will leave you alone. He can run that fast. He ran a 6.1360 at Perfect Games National Showcase.
Dan, have you ever watched any of his football video?
No, but a 6'1", 360, I mean, that's a joke.
Yeah,
that's like crazy.
Yeah, you watch some of his football tapes, and he's playing a different game than everybody else. And I think they play good football where he does, but he just is a different speed altogether.
I'm so happy that you guys have this kind of athlete here. This is the kind of athlete that our game needs on a consistent basis to add. And even if he might be a little bit behind the players that have had a ton more reps, when you project on a kid like this, you've got a chance to have such a high ceiling. And it's great that he's here, and it's great that he's getting a chance to compete. May not be in front of 100,000 people, but he's to get a chance to compete against the very best player at his age level.
He earns a walk. He made it clear in our conversation the other day, Ealy did. I asked him to think ahead to the draft, and I know you sit on the desk each year during that draft show in Studio 42. I said, have you daydreamed about that moment when your name is called? He said, oh, you bet I have. But let me make something clear. I daydream about playing in the major leagues as well.
That's
I don't
good.
just want to be a pro. I want to be a major leaguer. Said
That's
it
great.
clearly.
What a great answer to that, because ultimately you're right. I mean, certainly the first step in is getting drafted, but ultimately at the end of the day, the dream for all of these kids should be the ability to play in the big leagues for a long time.
Runners on first and third for Riley Green. Ealy takes off.
How about
he can
that?
Stand up.
Oh, my. Look at the explosion there. I thought he might just keep running to third on that jump. Got the sweet swing and Riley Green up here, man. With first base open, I'd be very cautious in what I did here.
Osman. And again, we see what Green is just fearless in doing. It's letting it travel deeper and deeper into his
Yeah,
stance.
he keeps his hands inside the ball exceptionally well.
Like this one.
Look at this. That was a two-strike swing. David, you said that perfectly. That was a two-strike approach right there.
Yeah,
Cut down on the swing, got his foot down early, and just trying to put the ball in play.
And it was a really nice pitch, too. That's a running
It was.
91-mile-an-hour
It was a
fastball, just where he wanted to throw
exactly, running away from the barrel. That was
Good
a really
breaking
good
ball.
fastball away, breaking ball in, down below his hands. That was a really good pitch.
He got his foot down. He thought he saw it well, but an outstanding, perfect pitch. Glove side breaking ball under the hands of the hitter.
Well, he's got him right where he wants him again, though. He's got two strikes on him.
Oklahoma's Bryce Osman on the mound. The shortstop and the pitcher skips that one in there with great speed. It'll plate at least one. And so the East, they add on. They lead it by a score of 2-1.
See, Riley Green's first at bat just calls that pitch there. He was trying to execute a pitch well beyond an effort level that he needed to try to do it with, because he didn't want to make a mistake out over the plate.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. He tried to make the perfect pitch.
Correct.
It wasn't there for him. Run scores.
That's what good hitters do.
Green can run. He ran a 6.62 60 at National. Had a 92-mile-an-hour throw from the outfield, so he's got a big arm. To the right side. Gargas gobbles that one up, goes to the bag. All sorts of fun thus far in San Diego, California at the Perfect Game All-American Classic. Beautiful day in San Diego, California for the Perfect Game All-American Classic. Getting to know these athletes at every level, including when they get ready to hit. Let's go down. Danny Wexelman is with Logan Britt.
Guys, we're going to walk to the box with Logan really quick. Logan, we learned yesterday Bobby Witt Jr.'s spirit animal is a llama. What is your spirit animal?
Probably a liger.
A liger. Okay, and last question. You're about to face Hunter Barco. The other team is up by 1. How are you going to get on base and get your team back in this?
I'm going to try to hit something right up the middle.
Logan, thank you. Guys.
Great Napoleon Dynamite reference with the Liger. outstanding. I mean, he got on Bobby Witt at the banquet last night. He tackles the spoken word as well as anyone on either roster. This is Hunter Barco. We just heard about him. The Bull School. He's out of Jacksonville, Florida. This is a player that can certainly play first and hit well. But Barco, the East Cobb Astros pitcher, has shown a pretty big arm. As a matter of fact, he was 90-94 at Perfect Game 17U WWBA tournament at Lake Point in Georgia this summer.
Well, Hunter Barco is a young man who has evolved really over the last year as a pitcher. His release slot is lower than it was a year ago. It's really created a lot of movement on his pitches. You know, he's maintained the velocity and the big movement with it, an outstanding change. What he does with his slider is kind of what the scouts are all looking at right now.
Yeah, with this kind of slot, it's imperative that you keep your hand on top of the ball. If your hand gets on side of the ball, you're going to have trouble throwing strikes consistently. He's got some Andrew Miller on the mound, doesn't he, guys? That loose, free, whippy arm. This guy's an uncomfortable at bat.
Big Logan Britt takes outside, and the count is 3-0.
See, look at the balance. That's so key right there. When you talk about balance, rhythm, and timing, your balance has to be over the rubber so you can separate on time. That allows you to be more consistent out front with your pitches.
Britt is a Texas A&M commit. Benbrook, Texas, All Saints Episcopal School, where he plays for Coach Mike Feller. Good fastball on the outer half. Swings right through it, 91.
Late life, Darren. That's got some really late life on it. That ball ran away from the barrel of the bat right at the end.
Back out there, 3-2. No, it looked like it had some cut right in on the hands.
Yeah, and what I like seeing there, Darren, was someone from that arm angle throwing a little bit cross body, whether he can get the ball to his glove side or not.
It is, and as I said, uncomfortable at bats. You just don't see this slot very often from a hitter standpoint, so it's really uncomfortable at the plate.
Britt has had his time on the mound as well. He's touched 90 as a pitcher, and all of these players have dreams of being a first-round draft pick. There's no doubt about that. When you think about what has gone on in this great event, Royce Lewis and Moniak and Brady Aiken, Garrett Cole, Tim Beckham, Justin Upton, Matt Bush, all alums of this game. And certainly we're going to have some treats because we're going to go back in the Wayback Machine. And a couple of these athletes we have seen along the way at a unique age. One of them was a man who was a perfect game All-American in 2009, thanks to our friends with Skill Show. Bryce Harper, a perfect game All-American.
And you don't realize how long the top of those apartments are at the University of San Diego. And he was just launching balls, bouncing on the roof.
Yeah, he can make every field look pretty small.
Jaden Brown is a Canadian out of Mississauga as he fouls that one off at home plate.
This guy's got an explosive athletic body.
Hayden Dunhurst.
It's been a tough day so far.
Tough day.
That's the job, though. And he's done a really good job back there. To me, it's the most important position on the field. Everything emanates from that position. The energy of the game starts with your catcher day in and day out. And if you're really good at what you do down there, you change the whole complex of the outcome of the game because you connect with your pitcher.
You're talking about the athleticism of Jaden Brown. He's a Kentucky commit. Mississauga, Ontario. St. Marcellinus. As that one misses away from that lower arm slot. Brown, fun to talk about because he's played for the Ontario Blue Jays, the Canadian junior national team, like Josh Naylor and Noah Naylor, the brothers, both first-round draft picks. Noah's, of course, the talented catcher in the Cleveland organization. Another foul ball, speaking of catchers. Got Hayden Dunhurst.
He got that one in the jaw. I feel your pain, young man.
He's thinking right now.
He's going, you got to be kidding me. Put the ball in play.
He's thinking, Coach, don't we have 3 catchers on this roster? Can I get out of here
and with the hockey mask, you do see the ball that much better, but you take a little bit more of a pounding on those type of balls. There's not as much protection as your traditional mask.
Framed it up nicely, still has that head in good enough shape to talk to that catcher's man to steal a strike here. Nice job.
Yeah, he received this ball really well. Look at this. The key is not trying to steal a strike. The key is just catching the ball where it's thrown consistently.
Emmanuel Dean with his opportunity now. He's a UCLA commit. John Savage awaits his arrival. Servite High School, Anaheim Hills, California. He plays for Sean Gilbert there. Really have enjoyed Emmanuel Dean. He is part of that high school home run derby as well at Major League Baseball's All-Star Game. He's a Breakthrough Series alum. And his mom, Senetha, played softball at Cal State Fullerton, and she now is a firefighter.
Hunter's living on his arm side right now. Hasn't gotten, there he goes, got a little bit to his glove side there. And David, you talked about that. That's going to be the key with him. He's got to be able to, if he's going to dominate to his arm side of the plate, he's got to get enough balls into his glove side to be able to execute that pitch away.
Yeah, especially when you're going to be a starting pitcher and you've got guys going to come up for the third time in a game. If they've only seen one zone, they're going to be looking at that zone. You've got to prove you can do something different.
That was really good there.
Breaking ball down and in under his hands.
Yeah, these are the best breaking balls I've seen.
I know.
That's
from
good. Hunter Barco this summer with the lower slot. It's so much harder to keep your fingers on top of the ball, and he's thrown two really nice breaking balls, you know, low 80 slider type shape to it, and he's got great results from it.
He's got such great natural life and movement on all of his pitches.
Hot shot out to third, down to a knee. Nice way to start things on the first. It's a double play. Hines hit Abrams, who shot it on the cross to Diamond. Oh, you bet you're having fun, Reese Hines. This is a bullet. You were ready for it. So was your partner. King Classic, here is tonight's PG Player Spotlight. Perfect Game, the largest and most respected independent scouting service in baseball. Spotlight shining on Reese Hines. Danny Wexelman walking him up to home plate.
All right, Reese, we're going to walk you up here. You hooked one foul last inning, or your last at bat, excuse me, and I'm going to tell everyone your key to success because you were the Rawlings Home Run Derby champion. You tweaked your neck the other day, but it's actually been the key to your success, right?
Yes. I woke up, turned a little too quickly, and felt a little crack in my neck, but it seemed to keep my head still, so.
All right, Reese, thank you.
Whatever works. Whatever works. If that head's been drifting around, if you're over swinging, if it steadies you in the box, if you believe that it works, then it works.
Hey, I would have done anything to get a win, so I would have kept my neck not moving the entire year if that would have helped.
Reese Hines was a Jackie Robinson finalist as well in last night's event. This is Riley Cornelio out of Colorado, and this again, David, some of the notes that you put together.
Yeah, Riley's a very interesting young man. Another I saw play when he was a freshman. He was a primary shortstop back then. Watched him on the mound as a secondary pitcher at a Perfect Game showcase, and was like, I talked to him and his father afterwards. I think Riley's future is going to be on the mound, and it's so pleasing that that's come to fruition. He's 90, 94. He can really spin it. And Dan, you spent a lot of years in Colorado watching the ball not spin at that altitude. This young man can spin it.
Yeah, when you can spin it at this age in that environment, that means you're going to have a well above average breaking ball. You know, David, just watching his delivery, look at the great extension, guys. He gets out front on the front side of it. You know, what that means at the end of it, you're going to have a lot more tight spin on your curveball, and your rotation on your fastball is going to be above average. He's a little amped like all these kids right now.
Sure. He's at a Monument, Colorado. It's about an hour south of Denver. He's a TCU commit, and he is under consideration for that final roster for the U.S. national team, USA Baseball. Fastball hits the outside corner. Lived about 89 to 93 at the National Showcase.
It looks to me, Darren, like his comfort level should be 91, 92. Hung a breaking ball there. But we're going to see some velocity spikes today, simply because they are, the energy level's at a very high octane right now. That's really good.
A hammer breaking ball. David, you said it, he can spit it. And Dan, it turned out that's exactly what happened.
Well, as Dan said, he hung the one before. It had a hump on it, and you don't want to hang a curveball to Reese Hines. He came back with his 8 curveball, then got it in the right location, better spin on it, and picked up the strikeout.
And Reese is going to learn as he matriculates in his career when he gets a hanging breaking ball. He's going to have to take advantage of those because pitchers are really good And the next one more than likely is going to be a pitch just like that. That was well executed.
That one skips in there behind home plate to Tyler Callahan. Callahan's an interesting study because his bat plays, and there's no doubt it's going to play. He's played a lot as a middle infielder, but he's taken note that he could help elsewhere, maybe help himself. He's worked on first base, and this summer he's actually evolved to where he's learned to catch, and he's working behind the plate as well.
Well, that's, you know, Darren, that's a great point. We've got a game now where players that are multidimensional are so important to the game, especially with the rosters, the way they're constructed. But the way this young man can swing the bat, if he could settle in at this position, it's a great for his career and a huge competitive advantage for a club that might take him.
Heavy sinking fastball hits the outside corner. By the way, with regard to the tools, the hit tool, he also has the pencil tool in the classroom. This student, Tyler Callahan, is a 4.4 GPA student. And we were talking about it, actually ran into him a little bit more yesterday in preparing for this game. He said, it took me a little while to figure this out, but as I got older, there are some brains in there. He's been gifted with some brains. He said, I just flat pay attention the entire lecture. He said, I don't take books home very often, but I don't drift. I don't put the earbuds in. I pay attention from start to finish of my school day, and it has me not having to take books home a lot. And he works a 4.4 GPA.
That's great. You know, as you guys talked about, all these young men seem like they're really good students this year, and that's great for our game. You have to be balanced. You have to have perspective. And it's good that they are good students.
Breaking ball is high, and so Callahan patiently earns a walk.
And that's, you know, that's a young catcher right there, because he threw him a challenge fastball on 3-2 at 94 that he was late on. No reason to double, you know, no reason there to try to throw a breaking ball.
Yeah, and even if Riley Cornea, he is a primary breaking ball pitcher right now, when you're throwing 94 and the hitter's already told you something.
Hitter told you, I'm not catching up to that right now.
Cornelio, his work in the classroom, he's a 4.1 student, a 4.1 GPA. Slammers Cronican, his travel team, John Cronican coaching that Slammers team as the fastball is in. We didn't have as much time to spend with Judson Fabian, the Florida commit. He was hit by a pitch in his first at bat. Trinity Catholic, and this is a hitter that just has shown over the last couple of years he just flat can naturally swing the bat.
And you looked at it, it's not a big physical presence. I think Judson's listed at 6'1", 180. But to me, he really uses his lower half well to get his swing started, and it's a swing that comes from the ground up. And he's got strong hands. You hear that different sound when it comes up the barrel. But I think a lot of his swing comes from the lower half.
Hits it hard out to short, the middle of the diamond. Bobby Witt says, I'll take it myself. On across, and that is a double play. Callahan wiped out, and a nice way to clean things up. Hello, Riley Cornelio. That's an inning. For what does it all mean if you're invited to this game? It means your resume strong. 15 games prior to this heading in the 16th edition. Look at what the first 15 have produced. 700 plus that have played in the draft picks and the 161 that have reached the majors. And we've got a young man with a Major League heritage out there on the mound. This is Jack Leiter, who is progressing maybe faster than anyone, has maybe taken bigger leaps. The son of Major Leaguer Al Leiter, MLB Network's Al Leiter. Jack Leiter's out of Summit, New Jersey. He's a Vanderbilt commit.
Yeah, well, Jack Leiter at this same weekend last year throwing the underclass event, he was 86, 89. He only threw 2 pitches, really, his curveball and his fastball. He's been up to 95 this summer, and he is a true 4-pitch mature starter, the kind of young man you could put into a pro uniform now with his ability to throw multiple pitches for strikes, and he'd find a way to be successful.
He's got, I love his delivery. He stays in context with it the entire way through it. He hides the ball exceptionally well, so the ball just jumps at you as a hitter.
A changeup came out of his fingertips, disappeared on him. He's dealing with Corbin Carroll, who tripled to get things going with a lot of noise for the West squad. He's out of Washington. Lakeside School, Seattle, Washington, as he takes inside and leadoff walk for Corbin Carroll. Dad Al Leiter very passionate about the amateur game, not just because he's a dad, but it has been something that he has taken upon himself. What a career he had. The first no-hitter for the Marlins, by the way, son threw a no-hitter this year as well on the high school side. Did it for Del Barton School against Don Bosco Prep.
Can you imagine what their dinner conversations surround? I mean, You talk about getting a PhD in the art of pitching from Al Leiter's got an incredible baseball mind, and his understanding of pitching is really good.
So from one legacy to another, Bobby Witt Jr., of course, his father, Bobby Witt. You can remember him visually, can't you, folks? If you think back, the big stride to the mound of Oklahoma grad, the cowboy-looking Texan straddling the rubber. That's Dad. Dad's leaner, though. He's gotten leaner as he's gotten older. And in really good shape. Bobby Witt, the #1 player in the nation. And it's been that way for quite some time.
I think our first draft rankings back when this class was a freshman, I think Bobby Witt was #1. And yes, players do get better, and that's going to be challenged. But Bobby Witt has gotten better, too, and kept ahead of everybody.
Picked on a breaking ball and a stolen base for Corbin Carroll. Carroll's got that great quick twitch speed. He's aware of it. As a matter of fact, he explained the science of it because Corbin wants to go into medicine. There's some of the things you put together on Bobby Witt.
Yeah, and I think the whole key in Bobby Witt's development is going to be how he gets to that power that he's shown us as he plays up the ladder, whether that power is going to play. And Dan, you mentioned Trevor Story before, the power hitting shortstop with the Rockies as a potential comp for Bobby Witt. And Story at this age wasn't a big power guy so much, and he grew into it.
Yeah, power comes late. You know, I always focused on more of pure hitability. Totally believing that as you get physically stronger and learn how to sit on counts, the power's going to come.
Rolls that one, a pitch down and away, charging. Miles Austin has come on to play short, and a nice job staying on the bag long enough by Hayden Travinski. Austin came on to play short for Nasim Nunez, and he turns that one into an out.
Great footwork here by Travinski at first base. That's a tough play because the throw is sailing up the line on you.
And Travinski, a primary catcher. You talked about multiple positions and all.
That's where our game's going to. That's good. He had a little bit more time to make that play than he realized.
Infield drawn in. Leiter with a fastball that dives low and away. Jack plays some travel ball for Tri-State Arsenal. Jeff Mazzola coaches that group. And obviously you talk about dinner conversations with Dad Al, but there's cousin Mark Leiter, who had a long big league career. There's Uncle Kurt, and there's cousin Mark, and there's Uncle John. They all play baseball at some level. All ball players in that Leiter home. Good breaking ball, 0-2.
One thing I've seen from Jack Leiter all summer is that whereas a lot of right-handers don't throw the curveball to left-handed hitters, that has been consistently this summer his best pitch to left-hand. You might be thinking changeup or whatever. He'll throw changeups to right-handers and curveballs to left-handers and be very successful with it.
Just watch the way he's competing on the mound right now. I mean, he is really, really competing. So when I started the broadcast off, when you look for situations where you get a chance to see a kid compete, this young man right now, he is trying to get this out. He is competing on the mound.
Logan Tanner is his catcher behind the plate. And that got him. That got him. So Garrett Frechette, who had struck out back in the first inning, the San Diego product, is hit by a pitch. Runner goes back to third and Carroll.
He's trying to bury his slider to get a strikeout there on his back foot. Trying to make too perfect of a pitch.
You're right, though. Man, he's bearing down. There's no doubt about that.
He's competing out there.
Henry Gargis with his opportunity. Was on first and third. The Stanford commit takes a good fastball. Leiter just got 93, 0-1 the count.
And I'm telling you guys, there's so much deception built into his delivery. I mean, you just don't see the ball until it's right on top of you.
Runner takes off. It's a breaking ball. Fly ball, center field. Picked up by Ely. Go up the line at third base. And a run scores on a sac fly and an RBI. Come on down, Corbin Carroll. Gargis drives in a run. 2-2.
And I think in the context of different ways to see players, seeing Jack Leiter in a one-inning appearance, isn't going to highlight his skills the same way as it highlights a Daniel Espino or a pure arm strength guy. I saw him throw 5 innings earlier this summer, and it was a different pitch every inning that he featured, and I think he did it almost intentionally. You know, one inning it was a changeup, one inning it was the curveball.
Trying to swipe it, unable to do so. Look at Logan Tanner right on top of the bag. A beautiful throw for the Mississippi State commit. Came up firing from his knees. Volpe pops down the tag. Pro players, Rawlings, the mark of a pro. Let's take a look at our G-Form player of the game. You can't make the play if you're not in the game. Stay in the game with G-Form baseball guards. Stay in the game. There is no stronger protection than G-Form, and there is no stronger young woman that we have met than Casey Harvey. Cancer survivor, a year of chemotherapy and radiation, a great soccer player, an elite soccer player, and an honorary perfect game All-American. Our G-Form player of the game, and deservedly so. And another look out to the mound. This is J.J. Goss. We introduce you to J.J. Goss, the right-hander out of Cypress Ranch. He's a Texas A&M commit, Cypress Ranch, Texas. On the ground on one hop, pretty good changeup. Eric Rivera out of Puerto Rico. Rivera, who flied to center field, rolls that one back to the middle of the dime.
How about that pitching, David? You know, 92 fastball, quick arm, and he drops a changeup on him at 85.
Right out of the gate. Right out of the gate. Now, J.J. Goss is one of these young men. If you wanted to project an All-American team last year, he wouldn't have been in the conversation. He was a tall and skinny young man who was throwing 85, 88 miles an hour.
So let me ask you, for all the young men that dream of playing in this game this year, he was a late guy at it, like you saw him later in the summer. He wasn't on a ton of radars up to that point in time?
He wasn't on a radar in the same context. He went to the National Showcase, threw well enough to be noticed and such, but where he really made his mark is at the WWBA 17 and under championship, and even then it was in his second start late during the playoffs. He just came out and dealt, competed.
And that's what these young men have to understand out there, is that you guys are watching all of these games. You're evaluating players on a consistent basis, and you know, people do have a tendency to pop, and you guys notice that. You do see that.
You have to be there. And I've spent a lot of time tonight talking about guys who I saw as a freshman, but it's the same thing. This was probably the last guy selected to the All-American game because he was out competing and improving, and was seen.
Hayden Travinsky with that big power. One-two, drops down to a back knee. It's a mile high into left field.
He's got bad intentions, Darren, when he swings the bat.
Just came up a little bit empty that time. Darius Perry came on to do some catching. He is behind home plate. Logan Tanner made that great throw from his knees. And he gets a chance to hit now. Number 27 on that jersey, Logan Tanner.
This guy's just come in and pounded the strike zone.
Dad played college baseball. Dad played at New Orleans. Dad is now a firefighter. Dad Brendan. Mom played college softball at Southern Miss. Delana, as we said, a Mississippi State commit. George County High School in Mississippi. Oh, a pretty fastball. I mean, it is just easy off his fingertips.
Oh, and it's right there at the bottom of the zone.
It's one after another here. Not a good day to be a hitter, guys. I'm telling you right now.
It's like facing a closer every inning.
Yeah.
J.J. Goss rocks and fires, drops a beautiful breaking ball in. 2-2.
2-1 fastball counts, and he drops a breaking ball in. Now he has shown plus fastball, plus changeup, plus breaking ball.
Is he going to go above the hands with this fastball and throw a different place?
How about outside corner?
94.
Hey, boys, how about if he does some painting over the outside corner? That is an outing, J.J. Goss, the pride of Cypress Ranch, Texas. Oh, baby. That's how you show out at the Perfect Game All-American Classic.
Not the entire, actually. That's right. We have Jack in the field, Al, Caitlin, and Lori. Al, you're a dad tonight. How does that feel?
So I could breathe now. I've been telling myself over the last few cool events that Jack's been a part of that I wasn't nervous. But for some reason tonight, I was feeling a little nervous. So, yeah. Dan, you can attest to that. Listen, being in the game, watching my son do something that he loves at a cool event like this, I'll tell you what, I don't know how I would have handled it. Kid going into a senior year of high school, I don't think nearly as well.
I think you're handling it pretty well. And the rest of the family, mom and sister, how are you guys doing?
Jack stays pretty calm out there on the mound, which helps me stay calm. So,
Caitlin,
pretty
how are
good.
you?
I get a little nervous, but
We got the D's up there, right?
That's right. We have the 4 Ds in the broadcast. We have Al here, Al Leiter. And Al, last question for you. Just being at this event, seeing the talent here and knowing that these kids are coming up and they're going to be playing Major League Baseball pretty soon. How cool is that for you?
So talent-wise, it's just a matter of refining, right? I mean, you look at some of the skills, especially it's easy to look at a radar gun reading. You know what you see in Major League games. These kids have pro arms, certainly some of them big league arms. And then it's just a matter of refining it. That's it. And these events really allow these kids in pressure situations of really cool stuff with a lot of people watching and hear it televised to just continue to hone their skill. Great time.
All right, Leiter family, thank you so much. Guys, back to you.
Danny, great stuff down there, and thank you, Leiter family. The pitcher is Matthew Allen, Sanford, Florida, Seminole High School, Canes national team. This is a talented pitcher who at national is 93 to 95, a big arm. And he gets his opportunity against Cade Doty, and it's a breaking ball, 1-2.
Another great delivery, David. I mean, every kid that's come out has had a good delivery, very clean in the back and clean out front.
Yeah, and to me, Matthew Allen might be the one guy, if you held my hand to the fire and said, who is going to be the first pitcher from this game to pitch in the big leagues? If you look at the body, the strength in the body, he's not the thin, immature body like a Goss or an Osmond. And then you look at his command, you look at his ability to stay back like that, you look at a present breaking ball that he throws for strikes. A whole lot of the package is already there.
Good looking breaking ball down and in. Cade Doty, by the way, is a unique story to say the least as he rolls that last one foul. Denham Springs, Louisiana. You may remember a couple of summers ago, devastating flooding took down an entire community. He and his brothers, Jennifer, Richard, mom and dad, they basically rolled up their sleeves, and Doty was spared a little bit more, and they just rebuilt homes and sandbags and worked with churches. And Cade Doty says, I learned so much about myself as that great breaking ball strikes the outside corner. But there's some depth to Doty. There's no doubt about that. It's enjoying watching him work.
Darren, when you bring up stories like that to me, see, I think there's 2 parts of scouting a player. I think there's the why and the how. Why you like him, David's doing a great job telling us why we like him. It's the area scouts in our game that find out how the players become the people that they are. And that makes up, there's the package and then there's what's inside the package, and that's the how. The how paints a picture to determine the human analytical part of the game that makes these players compete the way they do, handle adversity the way they do. And those are the kind of stories that uniquely create the fabric of these kids.
I can remember running into that team the following spring. Head coach Mark Carroll, they did everything they could to raise enough money to get to Perfect Games High School Showdown in March, and they still, many of them were not back in their own homes. And the devastation that went on, and Doty's family was spared, but he spent every day working.
And again, that gives these kids, for me, when they go through really life-changing experiences like that, it gives them an attitude of gratitude for me, which is a caring thought that they have to truly survive in this game and excel.
One of the best defensive backs in the nation is also a great outfielder, Memphis University High School. And it's a 1-2 count for Maurice Hampton, who rolls that one low. Just like Ely, who plays center field for the E squad, Hampton is that talented. He is in the top 5 with regard to defensive backs. He too has that decision. Paul Maneri's waiting on him at LSU, but so is that growling voice of Ed Orgeron, who's waiting for him to come play football.
And I think, Darren, when you talk to Ely and Hampton together and you try to bring them out on which sport they like more, I think you actually get more enthusiasm from baseball from Maurice Hampton at times. He looks like a football player more than Jerrion Ely, but he really loves the game of baseball.
#1 defensive back in the United States, according to ESPN. Track and field, runs the 100 and runs it well. Swings right through that fastball. So far, so good. A strong inning for Matthew Allen. Wow.
Easy, too. He's following the glove exceptionally well.
This is Gunnar Henderson. He had a chance to play defensively at his natural position at short. Auburn commit. Time is called. Great little story, by the way. His brother Jackson is 20 and had started playing some junior college baseball. So while Gunnar's a commit to go to Auburn, that would be obviously next year. His brother's walking on at Auburn from junior college and hopes to make the team. Breaking ball, a strike. Daniel Espino touched 99 miles an hour. The pride of Panama, who goes to school now in Georgia, showed that velocity. Fastball rolled foul. MLB tonight, it's rolling. Penache's coverage, highlight of every game, breakdown from TV's best analysts like you, sir, and live look-ins to every crucial matchup because it's now or it's next year. The Penachase is on MLB tonight, every night on MLB Network.
And we do have some great Penachases going on right now.
These young men hope that someday they'll be in that journey as well. A handful of them will be, the numbers tell us. Oh my goodness, look at the sink to that one. Either a two-seamer or just a wicked changeup. He just struck out the side.
And did it easily. I think he threw every single pitch right where he wanted it. 15 pitches, 3 strikeouts, perfect inning.
Mallings, the mark of a pro. This copyright telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Perfect Game All-American Classic. N.O. Dowd, David Ronsley, Darren Sutton, Danny Wexelman down on the diamond. We're honored that you're with us tonight. And we move along. It's that bullpen gate that keeps swinging open and talented arms come out. Matthew Thompson. J.J. Goss, pitched earlier, is also from Cypress Ranch, Texas, and that same school. Thompson's been on the radar for an awful long time. This is a big arm. He is a young man that touched 95 at Perfect Game 17U, WWBA at their complex in Lake Point in Georgia.
Well, this is, you mentioned the velocity. That's not, when I think about Matthew Thompson, I'm thinking more about the breaking ball because he really gets over it well. He has such a high release point and his arm's on time, and he really gets over that breaking ball well. I think he commands his curveball better, in fact, than he commands his fastball. And I think we're going to see him use that pitch probably early and often because that's his pitch. He's got 1 inning to come out and show what he does, and that's his best pitch.
Miles Austin lined out, first opportunity. Comes out firing, and that fastball is fouled off. Thompson plays his travel ball for Kane's national squad, Jeff Petty's team.
Again, the internal clock, a good balance and rhythm over the rubber, good circle and bat, good extension out front. I mean, all these guys look like carbon copies of one another. It's been exceptionally impressive tonight.
Yeah, keeping an eye on the delivery.
Well, the thing that I've loved so far tonight, guys, is every single guy looks like a starting pitcher. Here's that breaking ball you were talking about, the knee buckler. Not one guy that we've seen tonight looks like a guy that you say, hey, he's got to go into the bullpen again. When you see a good delivery, you see balance, you see rhythm, and you see timing. It starts with balance.
Breaking ball, down he goes. Smile into that other dugout. There's some back and forth going on right now.
Mr. Ronsley, that's pretty good scouting right there on your part, buddy.
Yeah, and this is not your garden variety 75, 77 mile an hour
That's
curveball.
a hammer.
This is mid 80s.
That's a hammer right there.
What were you saying, Darren? This is a bad night to hit?
This is a bad night to hit. You're facing a closer every inning. Take their time warming up. They let it all fly out on the diamond. 95 miles an hour to the energetic and athletic Nasim Nunez. Singled, stole a base, scored a run, made a great play at shortstop. He takes on the inside corner.
And there's a little pitcher-hitter relationship here. They were at Tournament of Stars, and Thompson was throwing about like this. And Nunez, who I mentioned, just started hitting left-handed, really lined a shot up the middle that must have missed Matthew Thompson's head by about 6 inches.
I guarantee you he remembers that, without a doubt.
That was one heck of a take, by the way, on that last breaking ball.
You know, Darren, I'm not sure one of those takes of knowing you couldn't hit it. And then he paints on his arm side, just misses.
2-2 our score. Perfect game, All-American Classic. Takes that one the other way, ready for it. Bobby Witt had moved over from short to third. Witt with a fine reaction and a great play.
See, 94 running away from your barrel. Looks like a pitch down the middle and ends up going away from you. And you don't want to hit a 90, any pitch 3-1 the other way.
Anthony Volpe gets his opportunity to hit against that talented arm. He's out of the Del Barton School in New Jersey, Watchung, New Jersey. He's a Vanderbilt commit. Tim Corbin awaits this very talented athlete.
Teammate of Jack Leiter.
Good sinking fastball at 94. Tell us more, David, about Volpe.
Well, Volpe, I think he's a young man. We talk about pro prospects and college prospects. First of all, both he and Jack Light are 4+ students in the classroom. So he's a young man who could go to Vanderbilt and come out in 3 years as a first-team All-American, a Madrigal-type player from Oregon State last year, because he is so highly skilled. He'll have to convince the scouts, I think, that he can perform in a way that makes him a top-of-the-draft prospect. But he's going to give it the effort, and boy, he knows how to play baseball.
That was an inning. I mean, a big inning on the mound for Matthew Thompson. It's a tough night, no doubt for hitters, but for the pitchers, I love San Diego. Elite metrics from the National Showcase. Max barrel speed is that speed at the sweet spot. You see Corbin Carroll, max acceleration, how quickly a batter speeds up the swing from start till impact. And impact momentum, that takes into account the speed and the mass and the weight of the bat, the great metrics that help scouts. And one of those is down below. Jeremy Brown standing by with Danny Welksman on the impact of that, national scouting coordinator for Perfect Game.
Darren, thank you so much. I am with Jeremy. And Jeremy, Perfect Game partners with Diamond Kinetics, and they help evaluate players. How exactly does this technology work?
Right, yeah, I mean, this technology, the pitch tracker, the swing tracker, it's really awesome stuff when you break it down. You have the swing tracker right here, goes right into the knob of the bat. What it does is it evaluates every swing from the pitch speed to the exit velocity. And, I mean, it's just really cool technology with how quickly it comes through. Then you have the pitch tracker, which it looks like just a baseball. It can get everything from the velocity to the spin rate within 25 RPMs, which is pennies to the dollar when you look at what it actually is. And it's just really helping revolutionize what we do as Perfect Game.
That bat zipped right through the zone, and a beautiful swing and a base hit. An opportunity for a young man who can catch, no doubt about that, and has an opportunity to hit and shows out Darius Perry. Continue on, Danny and Jeremy. Take it forward.
Thank you, Darren. So, Jeremy, these guys are on their phones all the time, and what's really cool is Diamond Kinetics has gone mobile. They have pitch tracker and swing tracker. Why is it so important to bring these guys all of this information to their phones?
Yeah, I mean, the app I was talking earlier, what it does is it gives you instantaneous feedback. You can take a swing, you can go look at your phone, and then what it does, it helps log all your info. And on the Perfect Game profile, you can have your verified info, which comes to us via showcases, but you can also do your trending info at home in the backyard. What that does, it uploads to your profile, it allows coaches to see it, but it also allows you to track your progress from month to month, swing to swing even. And when you're trying to look at technology and just helping yourself move forward as a player, it really helps.
Jeremy, thank you so much.
Absolutely, thank you.
Guys.
Great stuff, great relationship with Diamond Kinetics. On the move, Darius Perry. On the mound, Mac Anglin, a big sweeping breaking ball, a talented pitcher. He's out of Highland Sparta High School, out of Moringa, Ohio. Anglin had an outstanding run at Perfect Game's National Showcase. There's that breaking ball. Logan Britt off the end of the bat. Put away out there in the outfield, so Anglin goes to work.
Yeah, and very similar to a young man last year, also from Northern Ohio, Austin Becker. Big 6'5", 190-pound build, the long arm action, pretty much fastball slider right now, but a very projectable young pitcher with very solid present stuff.
And a great basketball player, an elite high school basketball player. So that athleticism shows as well. Varsity hoops and baseball since he was a freshman, Mac Anglin. Mom is Amy, dad is Bob. He's a Clemson commit as Anglin pulls that one outside to Jaden Brown. Brown, by the way, is still 16 years old. He's not 17 yet playing in this game.
Hey, Darren, do you know who he reminds me of, and it's really grown on me, is remember the All-American from Encinal High School in Northern California last year, Osiris Johnson.
I do.
Who ended up being a top 50 pick, by the way. He was still 16 when he played in this game. Very similar athlete, 6'1", 180, with very strong right-handed swings, and Osiris got into that top 50 in the draft by what you'd expect a 16-year-old to do, keeping improving. And I think Jaden Brown is a very similar young player at the same age.
Mom is Nadine, dad is Courtney. Dad was an elite sprinter in college and still trains sprinters. An outstanding athlete. 3-2. Nick Mingione excited to get him to put on that Kentucky Wildcats baseball uniform. He's in that Kentucky blue right now in that beautiful perfect game uni. Just got on the side of that one and he pulls it outside. It's a walk.
Yeah, I think when you have that type of delivery, Dan, it's I call it a rotational delivery,
he's spinning off his delivery.
where you're spinning on it.
It creates rotation in your delivery.
And if you're not perfectly timed, you can either if you're early, then you're getting across your body too much.
See how late he is there in that replay? That was perfect. How late he is getting the ball out of his glove. And that means the only way he's going to catch up is to rotate over his front side.
Emmanuel Dean with a base hit into left field, a hard ground ball base hit. And so Dean, who hit it hard in his first at bat, but rolled into a double play, the man out of Servite with a hit.
You got the West squad. They're really getting into this now, guys. I mean, they want these runs right here.
I've been enjoying watching Darius Perry, who I think you were made the Salvatore Perez. Darius Perry ran a 6.960 at the National. He's a better athlete than that body type is showing you. You saw him get down to second base on the little wild pitch. He could score on that, but he moves pretty well for a young man his size.
Well, and I do think evaluators sometimes make mistakes when they look at a particular body and they put it in categories not being athletic until they actually see a guy move. And he moves exceptionally well.
Yeah, and you see that behind the plate, and we'll get to see Darius do more. But Perfect Game is instituted a few years ago, also measuring a 10, which Jerry Ford, who's almost fanatical about running and coaching and evaluating running, wanted to do that. And Darius Perry's time for the 10 was not that much slower than a Jerrion Ely or C.J. Abrams. Well, the explosiveness is there. As you know, catching so much of that, you need that quickness.
Well, if you think about it, we don't really run 60 yards anywhere in our game straight, but we do a lot of things via the 10.
The dangerous Corbin Carroll with the bases
tough out
loaded.
Here, Darren. Good player to have up in this situation. You feel pretty good that he's going to put a ball in play here.
He tripled in his first at bat, the UCLA commit. Infield tight on the corners. A high strike for a fastball away. 1-1 the count to Corbin Carroll. Biomechanics or orthopedics. He wants to go into medicine. Scored a 33 on his ACT. Beaten
good
in.
Pitch.
Really good pitch.
Yeah, fastball away and then fastball in on his hand. Really good pitch.
This is his first at bat.
Good call on Jacoby Ellsbury. Very, very similar swing. He dropped the head on that. That pitch was 98 too that he got to.
Yeah, and that was similar. It was on the inside half, and as you said, just drop the head on it, and when you're hitting against 98, the ball will travel. Squared up.
Rushed off and left that breaking ball behind. 2-2.
Bought the infield in here. Double play depth, and now he's squeezing, putting some pressure on the hitter.
Let's see if Anglin can respond. Overthrew that breaking ball. 3-2 the count. Corbin's mom is Paylin. Dad is Brent, and Dad rode crew at Washington. on that crew team at Washington. Hangs around. Fastball just spoiled it up and away.
And that was kind of a hang-around type swing. It was,
Yep.
It was up away. It was too close to take. And so hey, let's just foul the ball off.
He's just trying to get a ball down in the zone now that he knows he can handle.
Bases full. Good speed, good athleticism out there. Breaking ball outside.
Wow.
Didn't get it there.
Ball.
And so that walks in a run. We saw the visit a moment ago from Alan Kunkel. Great high school coach, travel coach. Kunkel, Luis Lorenzana, legendary Manny Hermosillo, and Tim Lowry in that East dugout. 3-2, the West jumps on top.
Yeah, I think Anglin threw the pitch there that he has confidence in as his best pitch, but right now his mechanics just aren't allowing him to drop that slider into the strike zone like it normally does.
Again, as you mentioned, he's just very rotational right now. Hey, again, he's a young man in a high leverage situation. This is a great experience for him, and I'm sure he's going to get a ton out of it. And he's got a really good arm. It's a quick arm.
Bobby Witt Jr., 1-1 the count. Walked back in the first, grounded out to short in the fourth inning. The #1 player in the land. By the way, Mom Lori was a great athlete as well, a swimmer at Oklahoma. We talked about Bobby with his successful major league career. He had to deal with a good breaking ball there from Anglin.
That was good. Last two pitches, David, were really good. His heartbeat might be slowing down to normal right now.
Breaking ball, hammer right down the middle. It is slowing down. That's a great pitch.
And that's the pitch we've seen him make frequently over the last few years. It's his money pitch right there. It's
that was
sharp.
Good. Now I know why he threw it on a 3-2 count.
Yeah, that's his pitch.
You want to limit the damage in this situation. He's done a very good job of it so far. There you go.
Frechette with a fastball. The bases were loaded. An adjustment back. Now sprinting in. Lost it for a moment, but the athletic Highland Hall found it just fine. Well, you talked about it earlier, competing. You watch it from up here. That's exactly what Anglin just did. The pride of Ohio. The largest and most respected independent scouting service in baseball. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, great place to hang out no matter what at the Gas Lamp. Diamond Kinetics game summary. The fifth inning, interesting inning for pitching for the Mats. First it was Matt Allen with his big arm striking out the side, and then there were smiles, everybody. It was a fantasy island for Matt Thompson, the big right-hander out of Texas, with that sweeping breaking ball, some barbs into the opposing dugout. Diamond Kinetics, proud sponsors of Perfect Game. Elevate your game with revolutionary swing tracker and pitch tracker technology. Diamond Kinetics, swing smarter and pitch better. Thompson, followed by Will Rigney, the Baylor commit, whose dad Charlie caught at Baylor. He's out of Midway, Texas, and the young man plays his travel ball for the USA Prime Group, the Goins team. Big Will Rigney, and I mean big, 6'5", easily 6'5". And Highland Hall to lead things off, a supreme athlete out of Ocoee, Florida, plays at TNXL Academy. This is a Florida commit, Kevin O'Sullivan, head coach of the Florida Gators. Good fastball at 94. 0-1 the count on Highland Hall.
Well, I think Rigney is a little different than we've seen the past few innings with, these plus breaking balls and everything. This is a young man from Texas who's the old-fashioned rear back and throw the ball hard type of guy. I think his velocity is going to increase just as you look at that body, and he's strong now.
Size.
That's a king-size Texas body, and he's coming out there wanting to throw the ball past you and not trick you. So you're going to see some good fastballs.
In an year or two of abbreviated deliveries, less movement is more efficient movement. You just love to see this type of delivery. It creates a lot of momentum.
3-1 the count, just a little bit underneath the baseball, ran out to Hall. Boy, Hall has had a fun summer. It's been fun to watch him work, whether it was at Lake Point, Perfect Games Complex in Georgia, the National Showcase. This is an athlete that is getting a lot of attention, and it's a great family too. We were teasing him. You has no chance of getting away with anything. Dad Chris, and thank him for his service. He's retired SWAT. Mom Mila is a principal.
Yeah. Yeah, not a lot goes on in that household that they're not aware of.
So we're taking a flashback, and we're talking about big, hard-throwing right-handers, and see if you can guess who this is. Playing for that East Cobb program. How about Garrett Cole, young man coming out of Orange Lutheran in Southern California. Garrett Cole, some perfect game video.
Oh, yes. Went to UCLA and then was right there at the two-time first-round draft choice, actually.
I love these things. Let's keep them rolling. That's great.
Perfect game All-American, Garrett Cole. Back in the Wayback Machine. A big hard thrower out there on the mound right now. Opportunity for Riley Green.
Oh.
And they have Hall sneaking just a little bit. Mekhi Backstrom, who has come on to play first, wins that run down, so Hall picked off.
And those were quick feet right there, Dan. That he got the ball over to first, even for a big athlete. That was very good foot quickness, which is so important to a right-handed
It was,
hitter.
and how about the first baseman running this guy down, man? I've got you. Oh, little tag upside the head.
What a pretty swing, but it was in on the hand.
Well, but you know now, if he doesn't get picked off, that's a base hit to right field. Because he's pinching for a double play, so that ball is through the 4-hole. The little things that happen in the course of a ball game. That was a good pitch. That ran right in on his hands.
The West squad. Great representation this year. Obviously always from California, but from the state of Washington. We've told you about those names from Washington. A lot of pride in the young men that are committed to Stanford and UCLA and great schools out west. Reese Hines takes low and away. Hines is committed to go to LSU.
He kind of reminds me, guys, standing in the box like Derek Lee. Derek Lee had that physical presence in the box like this.
Oh, that's a great call.
And you see the respect that Reese Hines get. First two hitters, Rigney has just reached rear back and fire. Now he's dropped two straight sliders in there. He doesn't want to challenge Reese Hines and throw that 93, 94 in the middle of the plate.
Reese is going to learn how to hit a breaking ball because you know what? He's going to see a lot of them.
A high fly ball on a fastball toward the gap in right center field. The ballpark is big out there. And a tumbling roll for Logan Britt. Big exit velocity, great launch angle. Take a tumble, Logan. Take a tumble like a llama. We're at the Showcase 99 this evening. Daniel Espino, the pride of Panama by way of Georgia. And Danny Wexelman has found his amazing family for a quick introduction. And I think we have a translator. Danny, go for it.
That's right, Darren. I'm with the entire Espino family here. We have mom, dad, cousins, brothers, grandma. Everybody's here from Panama. And Dad, first question for you. Eduardo's going to translate here. You haven't seen your son pitch in person in 2 years. What was this moment like for you?
No he visto pichar a Daniel en 2 años. ¿Cómo ha sido este momento para ti?
Impresionante, pero ante todo quiero darle gracias a Dios por permitirme estar aquí con mi familia. Emocionado ver después de 2 años a mi hijo, poderlo abrazar y sobre todo presenciar sus lanzamientos que tanto he escuchado, su mejoría, y darle gracias al pueblo de Estados Unidos por acoger a mi hijo.
Well, it's been amazing because we have been hearing so much about Daniel and looking at him, the progress he has making this few years. It's amazing. We thank God so much. We are so grateful with the blessing He has been doing with Daniel, and it's amazing.
The Espino family, so proud of their country, of their son. It's so cool that you guys are here. Congratulations on everything Daniel's accomplished.
Qué emoción tenerlos aquí. Qué bueno que hayan podido llegar acá. Y los felicita por todo lo que ha logrado Daniel.
Gracias. Impresionado por lo que hace Perfect Game. Impresionado.
He's amazed about all the organization behind the event. In Panama we don't have this kind of stuff. We kind of even, and we are very amazed of everything.
Thank you so much. Guys, back to you.
That is outstanding, Danny. Thank you so much. And the Espino family has been so gracious this entire time. Kendall Williams is on to pitch out of Olive Branch, Mississippi, dealing with Mekhi Backstrom. Backstrom with a hard breaking ball. Down he goes. Backstrom, a great story, because this talented hitter, this big, strong hitter, though he went down that time, out of Junipero Serra in Los Angeles High School, and came also out of the Breakthrough Series in the academies. This is a hitter that came to a local showcase in Chula Vista, not far from San Diego. And if not his performance there and the courage to go be a part of that, he would not have been invited to National, where he showed out and was invited to be a perfect game All-American. So though a strikeout a moment ago, Backstrom, a great story of aspiration and just chasing that golden nugget. No fun, that breaking ball he dealt with, though. Sanson Faltini, Trey Faltini out of Texas. This is a two-way player who rolls out of William B. Travis High School in Richmond, Texas. He's a Texas commit, Faltini.
Well, Darren, what we're seeing here from Kendall Williams on the mound, he came into this game for me, he's 6'6", he throws straight downhill. Those are the two best breaking balls by a significant margin I have seen him throw over the last 2 years. It's a harder breaking ball and it's tighter.
I saw him pitch all year last year at IMG, and that's the best breaking ball I've seen too. So I'm so encouraged by the progress he's made with that pitch, because he's got heavy downhill angle on his fastball.
I don't think you can throw at a steeper downhill angle than Williams does. It's out front, it's that high 3/4 to over the top, and he always works down in the zone with it. It's always on time.
But you're right, David. That breaking ball was good. Really good.
Damon Hale is the hitter. His first at bat. Recently committed to Michigan. Sweeping breaking ball and a good one. But Hale, a great story. He and Backstrom, teammates together at J. Serra, Junipero Serra in Los Angeles, out of Inglewood, California. So full of personality and love for the game. 1-2 the count on Hale.
His arm speed, too, has gotten exceptionally better for me. Usually I don't see growth in arm speed, but with him I have. And it all gets back to when he stays connected within his delivery and separates on time, he is really difficult to hit.
Breaking ball, ground ball out to short. That's an easy chance. Fired on
Good
across
inning right
in time for the out. You said it. Good, clean, strong inning. Kendall Williams, Vanderbilt commit. Certainly outstanding, the history when you look at the All-Star selection, Silver Sluggers, Rookies of the Year, and MVPs. By the way, we're going to show you an athlete that managed to win both a Rookie of the Year and an MVP. Let's start with this gentleman. How about Buster Posey at the Trop, Perfect Games National Showcase in 2004. He's a Perfect Game All-American, an alumni of this game. He has a battery mate that he has dealt with for a long time, who could hit, still can hit in the major leagues. Who is it, folks?
Wow, look at Bumgardner. Wow.
Perfect Game alumni Madison Bumgardner. And so the great history of this game and some great memories for these athletes. And they hope to join that group. They hope to join that group. This is a gentleman that received a huge ovation because he's home. One of several players that is home. Pitch in. Tough pitch to Matthew Lugo. In on the hands. The Puerto Rican native streaks up the line. Lugo is on with a base hit. Dealing with a big, tall left-hander on the mound, Spencer Jones, out of La Costa Canyon High School in Encinitas, California.
Well, I think Bobby Witt at third base realized that he really didn't have much of a chance to make that play. Matthew Lugo's a 6'4" runner and he obviously got out of the box well on that. I think he was trying to come up with a miracle play, and it just wasn't there.
Interesting kid in the mound, David. What do you got on him?
Fires that one to the backstop.
The first pitch and the second pitch were the two different Spencer Joneses. He's relatively inexperienced at pitching. He's made some tremendous mechanical changes in the last year that enable him to get above the ball and downhill. He's 6'7". He's been up to 93, 94. The talent's there. what we're watching for here as scouts, I think, is watching for the consistency of his mechanics.
Opportunity to show out for Connor Walsh, his first at bat of this game, as that one misses high. The Ole Miss commit out of Niceville Senior High School in Florida. Walsh plays his travel ball for the Scorpions team, Matt Gerber's team. By the way, Connor, as big and tall as he is, he ran a 6'2", 560.
You know, in my career, taller pitchers take a little bit more time to come, just to figure out their delivery and get a feel and understanding of it. But once they do, this young man reminds me so much of Chuck Finley.
Ooh, I like
Same
that.
arm, body type, arm action.
It's a great comp.
Wow, that's
92.
really good.
Over the outside corner. Jones Vanderbilt commit, Blackhawks National, his travel team. Played with Mickey Moniak, #1 overall pick a few years back. That was his teammate his freshman year. Said, I learned an awful lot from Mickey. A lot. Do it again.
Trying to execute there, runner on second base, no outs. Good job, Mr. Walsh. Trying to get yourself a hit and get the guy over to third base. Chance to score and tie the game.
Perfect Games National Showcase, his final swing of batting practice, a home run. And that's what he left in the memory and the minds of the scouts. And then in a competitive game at Perfect Games Complex in Lake Point on July 4th, hit an in-game home run. The 17U WWBA. Breaking ball. Wow. Down goes Walsh. What a hammer.
And he set that up so well. He'd been fastball in, fastball away, and he hit that pitch. He tunneled it so well at the release point.
Good
You had
call.
no idea that was going to be a curveball
Good
until
call.
it dropped off the table.
Yep, good call. That stayed on the same plane as his fastball until it got to home plate. That's really good. Boy, another exceptionally projectable arm. Looks like a starting pitcher. His athleticism on the mound reminds you of a starting pitcher. You guys are running them out inning after inning here.
We have Highland Hall at bat here. Highland has really impressed this summer because we talk about his being a dynamic athlete with speed and projection. He has been one of the leading hitters on the summer circuit. He's just squaring the ball up consistently, and add that to the athleticism. He's one of the most, impressive young talents that's come out this summer.
Well, he's got really good hand speed. You noticed that in his first at bat. He really, really understands how to get the barrel of the bat going through the zone. He's very quiet at the plate, too.
1-1 the count on Highland Hall. 1-2. Hall plays his travel ball for FTB Florida Travel Ball, the Giants scout team.
Good breaking ball again, Darren, right on the outer half of the plate.
On 1-2. Fastball, runner heading out to third. Beautiful throw, got him. Cleaning things up right on top of the bag, coming up firing. That's the arm of UCLA commit Darius Perry.
How quick was the transfer, too, out of his glove? Didn't rush to throw, knew he had a little bit of time. That was very impressive. Look at that, good tag by Bobby. Unappreciated art of the game is getting the tag down as quickly as he did.
And I will tell you, I've talked to a lot of veteran scouts about this. Bobby Witt is as good a tagger as you've seen. When you watch him, especially when he's playing second base on steals, he had that hand speed and the ability to coordinate that and get that tag down. He is so advanced at that small skill, but very important skill.
Gunning down the Miami commit Matthew Lugo.
It's taken on such a high profile now because Javi Baez and what he's done. But it's a lost art, and that is exceptionally good.
Breaking ball, got him. Boy, they're coming out of the dugout.
Man, the West team is fired up.
Welcome back to Petco Park. I'm sure you guys could hear up there in the booth this entire cheering section that's here for Spencer Jones. I'm here with Garrett, high school teammate, but this last section was so loud. Garrett, How cool is it seeing your guy there on the mound dominate, his huge smile coming off?
I mean, it's awesome seeing our boy Spence out there. I mean, hometown baby, you know, LCC teammate. He's a great player. Awesome to see him out here, you know.
What can you say about your high school teammates coming out here, all of these family members here, people showing the love for him, showing out? What do you love so much about Spencer?
It's awesome seeing the community here out to support Spence. Like, Spence is an awesome kid. Like, Spence is one of my really good friends. Awesome kid. It's great to see him out here.
Garrett, thank you so much. Guys, if you can hear this, they are so loud and proud down here.
That's outstanding. Listen to that. All of his classmates, they all packed in cars, came here to cheer on. And then, of course, his teammates, they were making just as much noise. This is fun. That doesn't have just the feel of just a simple all-star game.
Darren, you got to be emotionally connected to win, and right now those young men are in that dugout.
He's leading it off because this is a talented first baseman and a good hitter, and he's got his hands full with a gifted arm as well. Joe Charles out of Florida, Celebration, Florida on the mound from the First Academy. A North Carolina commit. Charles goes to work and deals a fastball over the inside corner, 0-1 the count. Outstanding student, over a 4.0, a 4.3 GPA. And has been up to 96 miles an hour this summer.
And should Joe Charles get to the University of North Carolina, it would not surprise me at all if he doesn't get a chance to play specifically right field for the Tar Heels. He's a very talented two-way player.
Kind of a theme this year.
Yeah, it is definitely a theme. A theme we
probably hitter right now, obviously. And then Charles and Bryce Osmond, that's a good theme.
Oh no, there's a lot. There's and that choice. You know, Dan had the honor of giving away the two-way player, and I think he just proved that Spencer Jones, who got the trophy last night from my partner here, great inning on the mound, leads off the next inning with a single.
Yeah, though I had nothing to do with that award, but ultimately that was a really, really good swing. The people at Perfect Game made a good choice there.
You were just the presenter. Yes.
I was just the presenter. I'd like to take credit for that, but I know my limitations.
Forecasting forward anyway as the presenter. Haven't had as much of a chance to talk about Darius Perry as we would like, and here he is. The talented catcher, the UCLA commit out of La Mirada High School in La Mirada, California, who hit 11 home runs this year.
He's been really impressive tonight.
Just missed a fastball down. He has caught a great game, hasn't he?
Yeah, he really has. He's had a ton of energy behind the plate too, Darren. He's really done a great job catching guys that he's probably not familiar with at all.
So Darius Perry flies out to right field. Just missed it.
Yeah, good swing. He was on time.
Great family, too. Getting a chance to get to spend time with Marissa Graham, his mom. At about 6 or 7 years old, he lost Dad. And Dad, Chris Perry, was no longer in his life. And he plays to honor him in everything that he does. With regard to the amount of pitchers that are here and that are needed, Coach Kunkel's going to go ahead and make a call to the mound. It'll give us a chance to introduce and spend a little bit more time. We rush through these games and always want you to get to know some of these athletes. Charles fist bumps all around. So Landon Sims, who's out of South Forsyth High School in Cumming, Georgia, gets the call. Sims is a Mississippi State commit, number 4 overall player in Georgia. He too is another guy that plays multiple positions, right?
In fact, he came to the national showcase as a two-way guy, but his primary position then was as a outfielder, power-hitting right fielder. And at some point around then, he decided that his future was on the mound, and he made the conscious effort to really focus in on pitching, and automatically went from a 90 to 94 guy to a 92 to 96 touch 97 98 guy, and just self-identified as a pitcher and improved that quickly.
Really quick arm, good extension out front.
What a great angle, too, by the way. Talk about access. We're on the field while Sims warms up.
Yeah, I like this, Darren. Can we do this more often?
You know, it's funny. They've had this chance, this kind of access. We have all had it, but they've had this kind of access that you have with Hall of Famer Trevor Hoffman, Perfect Games national spokesman and honorary chairman of this event. And for Hoffman, switching positions certainly and changing what he did in a position. This is a big opportunity for him to share what he has learned with these athletes. Shortstop drafted out of Arizona, pitcher going into the Hall of Fame, and we all know who he is as a man, and they took advantage. Trevor's very giving in this event.
Oh, incredibly giving. When you see a caliber who's also a human being of that caliber, he's a Hall of Fame person as well.
Well, you know,
and we're fortunate to be the beneficiary.
Yeah,
of
his humility as a man is really, it's inspiring, and he represents everything that's right about the game of baseball.
Before the game, having fun. Casey Harvey, our honorary All-American cancer survivor out there. And somebody passed the coffee around to the West squad. And they are fired up as Landon Sims completes.
Yeah, does the winning team get something out of this? Because those guys are really into
bragging
it.
rights.
Bragging rights.
This is amateur baseball. This is amateur baseball.
We got some trash talking going on then between these two squads.
There's no doubt.
And I believe the West has won 6 out of the last 7 All-American games, and I'm sure that's been talked about this week as these players eat their meals together. They stay together and get to know each other. The West, I'm sure, is aware of that.
And so Logan Britt will look to add on, and we are ready to roll with Landon Sims. Sims does great work, by the way. Service hours with the Miracle League and the City of Refugee, a homeless shelter. Very involved in his community. So kudos to him. Runner takes off. Quick throw, sails. What an effort backing up. Are you kidding me? Back behind, and those are the little things that stand out. Racing and backing up that play out of Puerto Rico, Matthew Lugo out of the Carlos Beltran Baseball Academy.
Really good baseball awareness here because he never left his position before he should have. That's just a great effort play.
And Dan, those are the little things you look
No
for,
doubt.
right?
You file something that way, Darren, and you know, those are the kind of things that stand out in your mind when you sit down to actually write a report on a young man.
I'm sorry, that was just a wicked sinking fastball. 1-1 the count to Britt.
At 95 miles an hour.
Exploded.
Runner in scoring position. 3-2 the West squad leading it.
Oh my gosh.
Underneath that one.
I know, but the ball is just exploding out of his hand right here. It sounds hard from up here.
Dad played college baseball at LaGrange. Dad Brannon. College in Georgia. That fastball to the backstop. Tough to handle behind home plate. Dunhurst did all he could. Everything is heavy, lively, diving, moving, uncomfortable to hit and catch.
That ball just got on top of him.
They told Landon, slow down. You could hear it coming from out of both dugouts. Both coaches care about him. Infield drawn all the way in. They don't want to give up any more runs. Bouncing ball. That infield is in. Here's the play. At the plate. Not in time. Trying to grab an extra bag. Britt unable to do so, but a big add-on run. 4-2 is the score. The West squad adds another. Infield drawn in. They did everything right. Jones got a good jump.
He did. As soon as that ball went 2 steps to his glove side, he really didn't have an opportunity because he had a turnaround throw back across his body. Nice play. Short hop, showed good athleticism on it.
Connor Walsh with that great effort from second base.
This kid's got a really good arm, guys. Very simple delivery.
Almost had that.
Boy, he had it blocked for a moment.
Oh, yes.
He had it blocked. At least for a moment. Wow.
Good slide, though. You're right. Spencer got a great jump off the third base on contact.
Two and one to count.
Yeah, he felt he kept him off the base. He felt he never got there. And you know what? He might not have gotten there.
I think he came in with his trail foot there at the end, but if that throw had been there a little earlier to get the tag down, he would have been out.
Good job by the catcher. Really nice play.
3-2 the count.
Landon Sims pitches sound different. We talk about how balls off the barrel sound. His sound different from up here at the 5th level. That ball's exploding.
Sounds like he's really hard to hit from up here.
Good fastball, down he goes, and a big arm from Sims, certainly. Big, special, unique. Got a wonderful, powerful story on a pitcher with a lot of courage in a moment. The talented arm of Riverside, California native Wesley Scott. He's a Vanderbilt commit, Woodcrest Christian, and he and Mom Deborah are down. Certainly his mom came down to take on this event. We've been able to get to know the movement, the gifts, the personality, and the courage. You see, we got to know Wes Scott at the National Showcase. He shared with us all that he has learned from his dad, Shane, who was deep into a battle with pancreatic cancer, stage 4, and his dad is now in hospice. And he is spending his final moments with his father. His teammates have honored Dad, Shane. And Shane, if you're picking us up at all, we honor you. But Wesley Scott goes to the mound with a heavy heart, certainly. He's a special young man, plays for the Blackhawks national team. Mike Phelps is his leader. It's a lot of movement. It's a lot of movement and a lively arm.
Oh, very lively arm. It's really a 2-pitch mix. It's the fastball with all the movement. It's a very sharp slider, and it's a little lower arm slot than you usually see, and he gets a lot of his movement from that arm slot.
He's almost a little bit lower than we've seen, so it's not getting the tilt. It's running up right now. Let's see if he can get on top of that ball. That one's in, 3-0 the count.
You know, to put it in perspective, though, guys, you know, the kind of emotions that has to be running through this young man right now. You know, the courage he is showing just to even be out there and competing the way it is. I mean, it's inspiring.
Vanderbilt's anxiously awaiting his arrival. He has a huge reach. That wingspan is that of a man 6'6". He finds the strike zone.
He's got a really loose, free delivery, too. It's whippy. It's got some deception in there. It's quick. Another guy who gives you an uncomfortable at bat.
Inside, he lost him, and it's ball 4. So starts it off with a walk. And you can see him feeling for it just a little bit low in that arm angle right now. Good speed, going to pinch run, and Nasim Nunez. He'll run for Hunter Barco. Should point out, obviously, Barco, a talented two-way player, pitcher earlier in this game. And Barco, who prides himself with his bat as well, earns the walk, the Floridian. Logan Tanner. Loosedale, Mississippi, Mississippi State commit. Scott trying to find the strike zone. Just outside, 1-0 the count. Yeah, Wes has a wonderful disposition. Mom, Debbie, the courage certainly of Mom. Great gymnast. Missouri State, runner takes off. Didn't mean to. That's a check swing, and it's a foul ball.
You have to get a really good jump here. You're down 2 runs.
And we've already seen Darius Perry's arm behind the plate and how well he gets rid of the ball. And I think what they also realize here, the East coaches, is you have a catcher at home plate who does not run well. And you need to stay out of the double
Sure,
play.
absolutely.
Sanson Faltini's out there at second, pinching the bag, looking for a double play. Just a little bit high, 2-1 the count. Scott feeling for it. There's an option to work behind him, and either way, they were going to get some work for big Dawson Nets out of Maranatha High School, Sierra Madre, California. They're going to split this inning anyway. A little bit more run there. Arm angle coming up. Again, not getting quite the dive and depth that we saw earlier this summer with that lower arm angle. 2-2 the count. Three SoCal kids hanging out together in a big league park. That's a great shot, isn't it? Backstrom from Los Angeles, Perry from La Mirada.
You're talking about where they're going to go get something to eat after the game.
Three SoCal kids. There's some more SoCal kids bat boying out there and being a part of a video diary. Kay Doty has the GoPro on the forehead.
He's having some fun down there.
A lot of room on the right side right now. A ton on the infield. Good long hold. Runner takes off. Fastball beat him. Fastball down and in, and it beat him there. Good pitch from Scott. 2 outs away. Starting to maybe get a little bit more comfortable. A couple of back-to-back pitches that were solid.
Yeah, and all you need to do is throw a few strikes. I think he's going to come out of the game now. The reality that Dawson Nets deserves his chance to come in. You could get a double play here of any type, so we want to get Dawson Nets in to finish the game from the West team.
Jared Halpert, the head coach, Harvard Westlake. This young man pitching to honor his father, and his teammates have been taking good care of him this entire time. Boy, that is a gifted arm. And we saw him get really comfortable out there. Free spirit. Vanderbilt, as we said, his destination if he doesn't sign to play professional baseball. Dawson Nentz takes the rock, and he rolls now. All right, don't forget, hanging with us after this one, Think Fast with MLB Network's Quick Pitch. Get up to speed on all the pennant chase action, daily highlights from every game, and the latest previews of upcoming matchups. Quick Pitch, presented by Degree, coming up right after the game on MLB Network. Dawson Nentz is a University of Arizona commit. Number 7 overall ranked player in the state of California. He had a streak this year that would make Oral Hershiser proud, because for his high school summer, a CIF record of 59 consecutive scoreless innings that was finally broken. But he had a high school, and there's bad hops on high school fields.
Oh my gosh.
Mistakes happen. 59 consecutive scoreless inning streak for Dawson Nentz at a Maranatha High School, again, Sierra Madre, California.
Yeah, that number for me is mind-blowing, and I think at this level you don't sometimes pay as much attention to statistics because you're looking at the tools and the projection. This is
California high school baseball too.
But when you have such an extreme set of numbers like that, it really jumps out at you. And he's a very polished pitcher. Obviously, it's a low 90s, top out at 94 fastball, and a very well commanded curve. And it's a very mature Southern California style pitcher, but to put up that type of success, mind-boggling.
Lisa is mom, Daniel is dad. 4.2 GPA in the classroom. Here we go again with another really good student and a good all-around athlete. He took his run at running the 60. He's a pitcher, but he ran the 60 at Perfect Games National Showcase, and he ran a 6.9 as a pitcher. 90 to 94, and had a couple of at-bats, some good exit velocity, all those fun advanced metrics. 2 outs away.
He's just trying to figure out what they can do to get another guy on base. Turn the lineup over.
Well, it would be kind of fitting if Hayden Dunhurst had a moment late in the game, because early in the game, though he played well, he was beaten up a lot behind the plate.
Yeah, he had a magnet on him tonight. He got hit pretty hard multiple times behind the plate.
A couple of times, on that hockey mask, he got one up above the knee.
Twice in the mask, one above the knee. You know, he probably thought it was target practice back there at some point in time. But that's the beauty of the game of baseball. Now he comes up in the 9th inning, team down 2 runs, chance to do something.
The Ole Miss commit.
Good swing. Good idea, too. He had that hole on the left side, was wide open for him.
Dunhurst. Gwen is mom. Bob is dad. Mom, college hoops and softball and community college. Dad, that one thrown away. All right, it was getting a little bit more interesting. You still need 2, but that takes away the double play.
They were determined to get Nunez to second base no matter how possible. And if you throw over enough, something has increased the likelihood to happen.
I wouldn't even worry about that at this point in time. Nunez does play the game with a ton of energy, doesn't he?
All kinds of fun. Fastball jumps out of the zone. Kind of reminds you of a very high draft pick, Nunez out at second, of the Padres this year, Xavier Edwards.
Oh, yes, very much.
Broward Prep.
Xavier Edwards, who's hitting almost 400 in the Arizona Summer League right now. And it's the same sort of smaller build, but very quick twitch and plays with that same type of energy that Xavier Edwards did.
Well, they used to call it the Fire League, that rookie league in Arizona, because it's so hot. I think they're calling it the Monsoon League. It storms like nobody's business this summer in Arizona. There's that storm swirling it up at second. 1-2 the count. Hayden Dunhurst looking for his moment. Breaking ball, hammer, strike three. Wow, what a bender by Nets.
And what we saw there, we've been talking about the Matt Thompson mid-80s curveball and the other power curveballs. That's a finesse, big curveball that changes the batter's
It's got
eye.
two-plane break to it.
New Jersey-based Anthony Volpe with his chance. Holds that bat high away from his body. Didn't mean to. A check swing on a fastball that was 91 miles an hour from Nets.
He's got a real quick arm, though. The ball plays up even better than that.
Second opportunity for Anthony. The outstanding student in the classroom, Del Barton School. Fastball in on the corner. No balls and 2 strikes to count. 1 strike away from the West winning the perfect game All-American Classic. When Priester ready to roll with his big Rawlings Gold glove. The 0-2, breaking ball, bounced foul, left that one up.
But he sped his bat up so much from the 2 fastballs in on his hands that he got away with one there. Anthony's just trying to put the ball in play here. Make hard contact, make them make a play.
Shoot it out to right field and put yourself in position to have the tying run on base.
Sure, just compete. You're down 2 strikes, just compete in this at-bat.
Nets hopes otherwise, and on 0-2, he wastes the fastball. 1-2 the count.
Good thought. Changed his eye level, came up above his hands. Went away, hasn't gone away yet.
Back in October of 2016, Nets was at a perfect game showcase through 83 to 86 miles an hour. He's come a long way in a couple of years.
Things have changed.
He has come a long ways. Runner at second, the 1-2. Outside.
Good take right there. Under control take.
Dangerous hitter, great athlete waiting on deck, and Jerry Ely.
Just trying to pass the baton right now.
Breaking ball on 2-2 again. He's sped up and he hits a rocket foul.
He's battling right now.
Taking close pitches. A couple of breaking balls that have been up and out over the plate. So away we roll. 2-2 the count. Both of Anthony's parents are physicians. That mind is a strong mind, as we mentioned. 2-2. Did he go on a breaking ball? He did not. He did not go around. We will play some more. Runner moves to third. Well, that whole squad of white jerseys is coming out.
Yeah, and the East ties tell him to go back in the dugout. It's good. This game has been a highly competitive game. These players have wanted to win this game. It's good to see.
Runner at third now. Just trying to extend it. Dawson Nentz. Fastball.
Good swing.
Wow, what a good at bat.
Yeah, good swing. Anthony's really competing right now. Again, you know, from a scouting perspective, whether he gets a hit or not, he is up there giving you a competitive at bat with the game on the line.
He was looking fastball there. It's 3-2. He's going to give me his best shot. I'm going to give it mine.
You know, the ball was just away a little bit. If that ball was center cut a little bit more, he would have hit the ball really hard.
Back to the curveball here.
No, he's going to challenge. Got 2-run lead.
Nunez off the bag at third. It is a breaking ball. It's a rocket, and it's foul again.
Good call, David.
I think pitchers, when they get in this situation, they want to throw the pitch they feel the most confidence in. And I get the sense from Nets right now, even if he's throwing 92, he likes that curveball. It's worked for him before so many times. He's going to use it.
I'm sure he'd like to get a strikeout at the end of the game, too.
It's probably crossed his mind.
This has been a great at bat by Anthony Volpe. Pitch number 10 is a foul ball. A 10-pitch at bat here in the top of the ninth inning.
I am loving this. This is such a great at bat. And you got a pitcher on the mound pounding the strike zone, too.
You're talking about the pure numbers on Volpe as a student, a 4.3 student and a 1360 SAT.
Got a lot of very intellectually gifted kids in this game tonight.
They can play a little bit. West trying to win it. Dawson Nentz trying to lock it down. Pitch number 11. Breaking ball. Got him. And the West victorious in the 2018 Perfect Game All-American Classic. The West goes for the bounce this time instead of the dog pile, which we've seen so much. This is what ended it.
And it was a completely different pitch that in all those pitches he hadn't seen it at all. He took a third pitch out of his bag and threw a great slider there for the strike.
A great at bat though by Anthony too. Really competitive at bat.
Time now for the perfect game stat of the game. Corbin Carroll got things started in a very strong way. He led things off with a triple, and Carroll, with his great speed, played a very, very solid center field. He has earned the most valuable player in this game as well. Our perfect game stat of the game: a couple of walks, a stolen base, and 2 runs. The outstanding student and the outstanding ball player standing by with Danny Wexelman. Danny, take it away.
Darren, thank you. I'm with Casey Harvey, who is presenting the Perfect Game All-American Classic MVB trophy to Corbin Carroll. Corbin. Corbin, tonight it is true. West Coast is best coast. Every single guy on this field wanted to win, but your squad went all the way. What does this moment mean to you?
I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, just being at this game was a childhood dream, and to win it, it's unbelievable.
You've been with this group all summer. You know these guys like the back of your hand. What can you say about the heart of every single guy out here tonight?
I mean, everyone here is a great ball player, but I think what really makes us special is that everyone here is also just great people. And, yeah, that really shows on the field and off the field.
Corbin, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Guys.
Corbin Carroll, an outstanding game and an outstanding, as we mentioned, student. He just got doused, by the way, down there, and that's no surprise. A little bit cold. So as we see a little bit of the fun, I'll give you first comment on what you took in tonight. From start to finish, spending time with the kids. Dan, what'd you take in?
Well, you know, one great group of kids, emotionally connected to compete in tonight's game. I thought they put on a great show, but from a pitching standpoint, David, I was blown away by the arms I saw tonight, how good their deliveries were, and just the quality of their strike throwing capability in such a an event that you would think they'd get outside their comfort zone a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm just going to weigh in the exact same way, having seen these kids over the years and earlier in the summer and hearing the talk about how last year's pitching group was so much better. I think this year's is. And they're all starters. They all have the quality pitches, and they all stepped it up tonight when you couldn't blame them for being overexcited, and they were better than they have been. It was a great performance by all 20 of these pitchers. I loved it.
That'll close the book on the 2018 Perfect Game All-American Classic.